The name of the business is Legacy Catering. We all were talking about how Mom taught us all how to cook. She was a cook at the public school system for ages. So we all started to cook with her, so we decided, to do the business, so we went to figure out what we're going to call it. So we said, let's cook in honor of, our mother. So that's what Legacy came in. And just remember that Legacy Catering is about people, and this is what barbecuing is all about, and this is why we love it.
Knock Gene Kramer out of this.
There's the bunt. That could be trouble as Petrie. No, Stevie dives in and beats it. Good effort by Steve Lyons.
That'll be a base hit right there. Good job. I'll tell you one thing, not a bad defensive play either by the Tigers.
Did you see that? Mm-hmm. He's going to get the dirt out, and all of a sudden he unbuckled his pants and they fell down.
HabitatTechnologies.com. It is getting hot and humid here. It is 81 degrees. We might have one more tiny little passing shower here. Shouldn't amount to anything, but the tarp is rolled up and the cover is on it, so they don't think they're going to have anything. So 81 degrees. The heat wave starts later today, and we'll go through that week, and it probably is not going to be any less warm in Cincinnati. That's just my guess. Coming up, Dave Sibbs and I, and Dave's got his thumbs up knowing that that's exactly, it's going to be hot in Cincinnati, you think? Okay, well, it's on its way from the Midwest, so yes. Coming up, Dave Sims and I will paint the word picture, brought to you by CertaPro Painters. Experts at painting the corners. Visit CertaPro.com or 1-800-GO-CERTA. We'll be back after this on WFAN Yankees Radio.
Laborers Local 731 has been responsible for some of the biggest and most celebrated infrastructure projects in New York City, like the rebuild of the World Trade Center and the new LaGuardia Airport. Local 731 provides qualified and competent laborers to fill the demand that the construction industry not only requires but deserves. Its members and leadership have fought hard for wages and benefits that open the path to the middle class that every hardworking American deserves. Laborers Local 731. Feel the power.
Baseball season is the perfect time to replace the beast in your basement. Your old, inefficient boiler with a highly efficient Peerless boiler. Peerless boilers are a perfect match for homes, apartments, commercial buildings, you name it. Get the heat and hot water you need efficiently and save on your energy bill all year long. Learn more about the entire Peerless Boiler family of products, and to find a local installer near you, visit peerlessboilers.com. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boiler.
Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center specializes in...
A sartorial issue here. There's the team name, Chicago Cubs, so it does work.
It's got the right color.
Yeah, it's gray.
Maybe there was something went wrong with his...
Soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Let's get moving with Centers Healthcare. Centers Healthcare has a different approach to care. Here, you rehab, relax, recover, and go home. Our state-of-the-art technology empowers your rehab journey with us. Healing from surgery now comes with amenities like Starbucks, smart TVs, and personalized recreation. At Centers Healthcare, what matters most is getting you back to the life you had. Visit centershealthcare.com today or call us at 800-305-9151. Centers Healthcare. We're not just care. We are care that moves you.
We are back here. We're about to get underway in just a couple of minutes on this rare 11:30 game. It's a Roku game. And, so I left my house at 7 o'clock this morning to make sure that I was there when the clubhouse opened. A lot of people there at 8:30. The umpires are on the field. Jensen Visconti behind the plate. Willie Traynor is the first base umpire. Adam Hammery is the second base umpire. And the third base umpire is Andy Fletcher, and he is the crew chief. We all want to congratulate the fourth grade chorus of the Carrie E. Tompkins Elementary School in Croton-on-Hudson, New York, who just sang the national anthem. I think it was the whole class. They were just wonderful. It had to be. Weren't they wonderful?
They were very good. And you know me, I like to pace it.
Well, yeah, they
sang it and sang it well, and they were done.
And they were
great.
Little ones. What is fourth grade? Is 10 years old? 10 years old? 8
yeah,
years
it's about
old?
right. Yeah.
Well, the little ones anyway. So congratulations. And in come the pitchers. I see that Will Warren is already in. In comes Dean Kramer, along with his pitcher, and Maverick Handley. A minor leaguer. He was up a little bit last year. I think we saw him in Baltimore at the end of the year. Minor league catcher Adley Rutschman on the injured list. And abdominal strain. This is going around. Everybody's got an oblique or an abdominal strain. Ryan Yarbrough, if you did not hear, was put on the 15-day injured list today with an oblique. And it's the same kind of oblique that a couple of people had those beginning of the season. You don't really feel it. You can feel a tiny little twinge, but nothing is really, really hurts. So they're hoping it won't be too long. That's a shame. He was just having a terrific run with the New York Yankees here. And they have brought up Javian Sandridge just for the day, and he knows it's for the day. He's a AAA pitcher, and if he gets in the game, we'll tell you his story. Everybody has such great stories here, and he's been at AAA. Alan Winans, whom we saw a lot in spring training, having a magnificent AAA season this year, 7-0 with an ERA of under 1, and he's going to start tomorrow in Cincinnati. So probably getting on. He must have been in Louisville too. That's not a far way to go from Louisville to Cincinnati. So he will pitch tomorrow. Well, here come the Yankees, and they are let out on the field today by their captain, of course, Aaron Judge. Umpires going to their bases. Jensen Visconti is behind the plate. Willie Traynor at first. Adam Hammery at second, as I said. And the crew chief is Andy Fletcher, and he is at third base. Of course, everybody's still talking about yesterday. Clark Schmidt, 7 innings of no-hit ball. He was cooked at the end of, and it had nothing to do with he threw too many pitches. He was cooked. And that was, you don't push it when you don't have it. That's how people get hurt. And it was just a magnificent breakout for people in the lineup yesterday, including Anthony Volpe, who does get the day off today. Aaron Boone said he was going to get the day off. So the Yankees want to see if they can keep this going. Now, of course, the pitcher today is Will Warren, and he is just about finishing his warm-ups. He is 4-4, ERA of 4.83. And I think the development of Will Warren, very similar to the development of Clark Schmidt. Both guys pressed into action because they needed a fifth starter. And Clark Schmidt a couple of years ago, and this year, Will Warren, he's 26 years old. He's pitching on a regular 4 days rest. He made his 15th start of the season on Tuesday. He took the loss, despite recording a career-high 11 strikeouts in 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs, no walks, and the career-high 11 strikeouts. So here we go. We are coming to you live from the Provident Bank broadcast booth. And as Jackson Holliday steps up to the plate, stepping up to the microphone is the new voice of the New York Yankees. Here is Dave Sims.
All right, Susan, thank you very much. Go time here at Yankee Stadium. Best address in baseball. Good Sunday morning to you. It's 11:38 Eastern Time. Jackson Holliday's going to stand in 257, 8 home runs, 28 runs batted in, left-hand hitter. One of the prize prospects of this Baltimore Orioles organization. Will Warren looking for win number 5. Here's the first pitch, and swung on and laced into left center field. That'll drop down in front of Bellinger for a base hit. So Holliday, who went 3 for 5 in the first game, he went 0 for 3 in last night's game.
And of course, you're going to see this batting plan right here. Will Warren throws nothing but strikes. He didn't walk anybody last time. So you're going to probably see an aggressive approach by Baltimore here.
Will Warren went 3 1/3 back on the 28th of April in a loss at Baltimore. 6 hits and 4 runs all earned. Working from the stretch is Ramon Arias, and that hit him. Oh, not a good start at all. No. The first 2 men are aboard on 2 pitches.
Well,
so work to do from the get-go, and that brings up a good hitter. And Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar yesterday 0 for 3.
Right on the elbow, and he's got the pad there. Still hurts. Boy, does it still hurt. This kid's throwing 95, so.
Warren with wins against the Giants, at the A's, against Texas, and against Boston. And he's in an early pickle here. Henderson, 282, 8 homers and 23 runs batted in. Left-hand hitter. First pitch. Down low, ball 1. Yankees, nice bounce back yesterday, 9-0 win. Schmidt gets the win. Good to see him throw 7 innings of no-hit ball. And like Lexington said, he was gassed. He was done. And a pickoff attempt. And, oh, that was close. Nice job by Peraza sneaking in behind. Holiday at second. Made it a close play.
And Gunnar had a 14-game hitting streak snapped yesterday. One of the good ones.
And waiting to see. The Yankees want to have that challenge. I'd call it second. Adam Hammery, the umpire, at second.
The call in the field is safe at second base. New York is challenging.
And they are going to challenge that. And this instant replay review is brought to you by Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Now let's see if we can.
There's Henderson.
No,
there. It came off. Came off for about like a nanosecond, and the tag was still on him.
Well, here's my question. Is that leg on there? Is the left leg still touching the bag? It can be any part of your body. It doesn't have to be the hand.
I was just looking at the hand.
I did see that, but then I saw the left leg. Interesting. Did the left leg stay on the bag?
They definitely caught him flat-footed. He was taking a secondary lead. And oops, I got to get back.
You know, there's the swipe. Is that... Well, I guess not. It did come off. Did he get it before that leg hit?
Here we go.
After review, the call in the field is overturned. Runners out. The field has contact with the bag.
Pickoff.
New Yorker with
1-6. And that's a much-needed out. 1 away.
That is something you don't want to do.
Get the tag on it.
That's a couple of times in the series. Jackson Holloway's been sleeping in the bases. First base.
So now runner at first. Yeah, that's right. Who was it? Freed almost got him a couple of times. Henderson. Counts 1-0 to Gunnar. Yankees looking for a double play ball. Here's a pitch down and in. Ball 1. Henderson. In these last, what do you think, last 30 years, we have so many tall, very athletic shortstops.
Yep.
He has a very good one. Warren, long hold. Here's a pitch. Swing on dribbler right in front of home plate. It's a foul ball. Jansen Visconti, home plate umpire, said it hit off his foot. So the count goes to 2-1. Gunnar Henderson, Rookie of the Year in the American League back in 23, 8th in MVP voting, and won a Silver Slugger award. He was 4th in MVP voting behind Judge, Bobby Witt Jr., and Soto. 2-1. This down low. 3-1. So 3-1 to Henderson with Ryan O'Hearn on deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and counting switch hitters, 6 left-hand hitters to go against Will Warren today. 3-1 pitch, and here it comes. Fastball down and in, missed badly. So again, now we got 1 out and 2 on again.
And 2 walks, and don't forget he didn't walk anybody last time out. And that was the first walk of the game. That's brought to you by Route 22 Toyota. Why walk when you could be driving a new Toyota? Route22Toyota.com.
Brings up Ryan O'Hearn, the big first baseman, hitting 300. 10 homers and 28 RBI, so making some noise here early on. A lot of it self-inflicted. Breaking ball hammered into right field. Judge retrieving. Here's Arias coming around. Here's the throw. It is cut off by Rice. And going first to third is Henderson, and O'Hearn rings the bell with an RBI single. 1-0 Baltimore here in the first inning.
And if Jackson Holiday isn't picked off, that's 2-0. And that was a hard hit. Ryan O'Hearn, and once again, early in the count.
You bet.
And this is what they're going to do. They know this kid throws strikes, and they're just going to go after the first or second pitch.
They have established the game plan immediately. RBI for O'Hearn, his 29th. That brings up Ramon Laureano, DHing today. Outstanding outfielder, big arm. Threw a runner out. It was a DJ at the plate 2 nights ago. First pitch outside, ball 1.
Just think if you're Ryan O'Hearn here, who was pretty much he was there in Kansas City, and we knew he played. Nobody ever talked about him. He's going to be the All-Star DH.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
He's having a fantastic first half. Pitch from Warren, swung on, popped up. Going back as DJ coming in, Judge to make the catch. Runner at third. That's medium. Right center field. Judge's throw pretty much on the money. And it was an easy throw. He didn't really get all behind it. He just, for him, he's a big man, and he just threw it.
That was a lob. He lobbed it in perfectly.
It was right on the money. The big out. So 2 down. Here comes Colton Cowser.
And
runner at third, that was Gunnar Henderson. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, and Jackson Holiday talking yesterday about what a leader Ryan O'Hearn. Don't forget, they're all very young, except Ryan O'Hearn in the middle of this, and he's become a leader from a guy who he was another player for Kansas City. He's come here and found a home.
He's 31. Gunnar Henderson is 23.
The
Holiday kid's 21. Here's Cowser. Listen to the pitch. Back to a breaking ball for a strike. Left-hand hitter. He's in left field today. 206, 6 homers, and 10 runs batted in.
So just think, Jackson Holiday is 10 years younger than Ryan O'Hearn.
He's a heck of a player, boy. Runners at the corners, 1-0 Baltimore with 2 outs in the first inning. Swung on line drive left field, slicing away from Bellinger. He'll have to go get it. Coming around to score is Henderson. Digging for third and getting there's O'Hearn. He gets a stop sign. It's an RBI double for Colton Cowser. His 11th RBI, third double, and Baltimore's got a 2-0 lead here in the first inning.
And he tried to do that. Colton Cowser, a very talented young outfielder. He saw that ball was on the outside corner and just went with it. You could see his head and his eyes following that ball. He knew exactly what to do. Here comes Matt Blake and Will Warren walking off the back of the mound, standing on the grass. Sometimes you have all the great expectations in the world and something goes amiss, and here comes Matt Blake. And this consultation on the mound is brought to you by the Barnes Firm Injury Attorneys. Call for a free consultation at 1-800-8-million.
Well, the two things are going to stick in his craw: the hit better and the walk, and both guys that come around to score. 2-0 Orioles on 3 hits, and Cedric Mullins is going to be the 7th man to the plate here in the opening inning. A rousing start to the morning, the back end of the morning here by Baltimore.
You know, it's amazing, and I've heard this, and I'm sure you have too, your whole life. Baseball, you think you're on top of the world, and then it comes back and smacks you in the face, and you have to start again. Adjustments. It's a game of adjustments.
Absolutely.
Inning to inning, pitch to pitch.
And trying to do some damage here. Here's a pitch inside, ball 1. The other thing, too, that I remember a long time ago, just when you think you got it figured out, it goes the other way.
Yep.
And Warren trying to dig himself out of this. He's down 2-0, 2 out, 2 on. Runners at second and third. Left hand hitting Mullins, swings and fouls one back. 1-1.
As I was talking about Ryan O'Hearn, 21 RBIs in his last 22 games against the Yankees, all since he was an Oriole. That's why I thought he was, he was just sort of there. I never saw him hit. Cowser 8 for his last 18 with 8 ribbies.
Cedric Mullins, 222, 12 homers and 35 runs batted in. Left-hand hitter, swing and a miss. 1-2. Mullins had been a switch hitter prior to 2021. The All-Star team in 21.
2021 had his best year. He was hitting well over 300.
Here comes a 1-2 from Warren, trying to limit the damage and keep it here at 2-0. 1-2 to Mullins, swing on, popped up behind home plate. Clouds have really taken over here at the stadium. A little bit of a breeze blowing out towards left. Flags atop right field. The freeze up top. Flags blown out towards center. So a lot of pitches thrown here by Will Warren. This will be pitch number 17. This is his 7th batter. He's 1-2 to Mullins. Here's a pitch. Swung on and foul back again. Spoiled that one.
So they're really making him work. This is what Aaron Boone always talks about when he says have heavy at bats. Make the pitcher know that he's had to work on every batter. And so far, that's exactly what has happened.
And so far, Warren's had just one swing and miss. Trying to put Mullins away. Mullins a career 1 for 2 against Warren. Here's 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, missed down low. 2-2.
This is like the exact opposite of last time out, where he was throwing strike 1, strike 2, was ahead of everybody.
Well, we've seen that tape. That's for sure.
Adjustments. You heard Aaron Boone talk to me about it's not just day to day and month to month. It's pitch to pitch.
Absolutely. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, swing on, put in play, right side. DJ, easy play. Throws over to Ben Rice for the out. Damage done here by the Orioles in the first inning. They get 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and leave a couple. It's 2-0 Baltimore with the Yankees coming to bat on WFAN. Yankees radio driven by Jeep.
Want more from your drive? This is it. The all-new Audi Q5 with a powerful...
Grades at chefiq.com. Chefiq.com to get yours today.
I'm attorney Rich Barnes. If you need help after a crash, call the Barnes firm now.
The beauty of this jersey is the field, the texture, the thin, the stitching is heavy, so you kind of feel that jersey that was very heavy. Check it out, the last name and the number, they have a little glitter on them, so they kind of stack up. It just feels right. I had some really cool cleats to go with it. The way it gets dirty when you slide, it just kind of like rubs off on that glitter. It's really, really cool.
One call to make, and that's to the Barnes firm injury attorneys, 1-800-8-MILLION for a free case evaluation.
Right-hander Dean Kramer on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles. 4-3 career against the Yankees in 12 starts, and 2-1 here at the stadium. As Trent Grisham will lead off. And first pitch on the right-hander is in there for a strike. Trent at 249. 15 homers and 31 runs batted in. That's 15 homers, 66 games. He had 9 in 76 games last year. Swung the bat well the last couple of days. Next pitch, swung on, hit foul, left field. Grish yesterday went 3 for 5. Homer single to right, single to center. Game before that, 0 for 4, but got on base a couple of times.
Being a contact hitter. He's a 4th or 5th starter. Kind of guy, doesn't throw overly hard.
Kramer, 6-7 record, a 4.80 ERA. Wears his hair in a tight bun behind his cap. And he's just thrown a ball like that, strike 2, 1-2.
Let me just see.
Infield pulled around hard to the right for Grisham. 1-2 pitch from Kramer. Swing and a miss. Top of the zone. One down.
And that, not overly hard. 92, 93, top of the zone. He depends on control, which he has.
Well, here comes the captain, Aaron Judge. And how about this? In a 9-0 game yesterday, the only guy without a hit in the lineup was Aaron Judge. He was on base twice and struck out a couple of times along with a ground out. His first pitch. And it's breaking ball for a strike. How about these numbers? Judge 5 for 15 against Kramer. All 4 of them are home runs.
I would think.
He is seeing the ball out of his hand really well. Here's your 1 from Kramer. And a pitch outside. Tell you what, I'm looking at Kramer with this windup, and I've seen him a bunch when, of course, when I was in Seattle with the Mariners. He's 6'2", 210, but his windup and delivery is a little bit reminiscent of the great James Alvin Palmer.
I wish it
a
to
Hall
him.
of Famer. Here's a pitch swung on back up this way.
I wish it to him. Gene Palmer. He's the last. Gene Kramer is the last Oriole left from the trade with the Dodgers from Manny Machado.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4. They got 5 players from Manny in 2018. Dean's the only one left.
1 and 2. Brady deals. And bounced up there. Yeah, when he separates his hand out of his glove and the way the leg goes up now, Jim, remember, was up high in the air. I think 6'5". And Palmer, I think he's gone home because Roku's got the broadcast. But he's coming up on 80, and he still looks like a model.
Unbelievable.
Looks fabulous.
One of the greatest guys. He loves talking pitching with the young pitchers.
And one of the greatest needlers I've ever been around. 2-2 pitch. Spun on. Bouncing ball third base. Here's Arias. Good glove man down there. Throws over in time. 2 down.
It comes from that group.
Well, that generation?
You know, that generation.
Yeah.
Needle. You can't do that now. You'll get sued.
I tell you, he comes into the booth the other day. What are you, emaciated? What happened to you? Where's all that weight gone?
And I said, you can't shave? This is New York.
Yeah, right. That was great.
Yeah. He's the best. You know, it would behoove young pitchers. I know a lot of the coaches and stuff don't want the old guys talking to them. If Jim Palmer talks to you about pitching, I would sit and listen.
Oh, man. And take notes. There's Ben Rice.
Be a lot of notes.
Yeah, for sure. First pitch to Ben. Swung on, bouncing ball to the right side, handled by Holiday. Easy flip to first for the out. Dean Kramer has a 1-2-3 first inning. He's got a 2-0 lead here at the stadium on WFAN Yankees Radio, driven by Jeep.
Step up to the plate with confidence with the Jeep brand's newest MVP, the all-electric Jeep Wagoneer S. Year after year, the Jeep...
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
If I preview anything interesting. Mets in Philly tonight. David Peterson against Jesus Luzardo.
Battle for first place over there in the National League East. Both teams at 46 and 31. There's Dylan Carlson, switch hitter, batting lefty against Will Warren, who gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. First pitch up high, ball 1.
Detroit's in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay starts today a game and a half in back of the Yankees. It'll be Casey Mize against Zach Littell.
Here's Warren. Kicks and deals. Breaking ball. Missed down low. 2-0.
Red Sox stay in San Francisco one more game. Lucas Giolito against Robbie Ray. Houston is at the Angels. Boy, they're going to be so glad to get out of there and put this Rafael Devers to sleep. Stop already.
Next pitch outside, ball 3. Warren not as sharp as he was last time out.
Who did he talk to? Who was he mad at? He had dinner. He didn't talk to this one. He did talk to this one. Stop already.
I've skipped most of that.
It's hard to.
Right, 3-0 pitch. Right down the pipe for a strike, 3-1. Carlson hitting at 250, 4 homers and 12 runs batted in.
We got him from St. Louis. There were rumors. You always hear these rumors. Dylan Carlson supposedly was somebody the Yankees were interested in. Whether or not that's true, I have no clue.
3-1, and he hits one to right field. Judge coming in a little bit to his left, makes a catch. And it's one down. To bring up Maverick Handley. Little guy is a catch. We were in Baltimore late April, and he had just come up, and the Baltimore media surrounded him. He could talk, and he was very pleasant.
Did anybody ask him where he got the name Maverick?
I think it was from the Cruise movie. Top Gun.
Yeah.
You were thinking James Garner. So
I was.
James Garner, Jack Kelly,
yep.
Maverick
Bretton
on 1960. And Roger Moore's Bow.
There is someone who's named after that Maverick. He's probably not 20 anymore. But
oh, you can bet on that. 0-1.
There is someone in the league.
This young man hitting 3 for 40 his previous start. A previous stint. Next pitch, a breaking ball up top, 0-2.
It was somebody's middle name, something Maverick. And I asked, who's that after? And I was hoping you would give me that answer. And he said, my dad loved James Garner.
He was a very good
It was a great job.
0-2. Up high, 1-2. Yeah, the first time I saw somebody, I met somebody with that name, Maverick. And given our age, how could you not? And then I told him who that was, and he looked at me like I had 4 heads.
No idea. It was in black and white, too.
That's right. Here's a strike 3 call to Handley. Took it right on the outside corner. First strikeout for Will Warren, 2 down, second inning. 2-0 Baltimore.
Maybe it's like he saw something on the tape like Max Fried did the other day. Well, you shouldn't take that right down the middle. Fastball right down the middle. First strikeout of the game is presented by Weichert Realtors. Don't settle for a good agent. Go for a great one at Weichert.com.
What did Max Fried do?
Well, he went in and looked at his thing. Oh, my leg gets a little...
Yeah.
He moves it too much.
There's a fastball in tight to Jackson Holiday as we begin the second time through.
I thought that was fascinating. He said his leg gets a little swingy, but he doesn't feel it. He has to see it on that. And he said, oh, that's what I'm doing. That's why I don't feel well out there. A little off.
Breaking ball for a strike.
He didn't feel just right. And you can't put nothing is working, and you don't know why, because he didn't feel it. He focuses so hard.
Max Fried taking almost a scientific approach.
Oh, almost.
Man, oh man, that's impressive. You can see a couple 3 degrees of movement. Here's a bouncing ball left side, charged by Peraza. On the run, throws, just gets him.
He can
had
run.
Had a hard time getting it out of his glove, but Peraza stayed with it. He's got a cannon over there. That'll do it. As Holiday's retired, and Warren goes 1-2-3 in the second. When we come back, Cody Bellinger leads off for the Yankees, who trail Baltimore.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
Do you see yourself maybe one day after baseball, like maybe food critic, food writer?
I would love to do that. That's the plan. I've been doing it ever since I was in the big leagues. It's just fun. It's fun to interact with people like the fans, because a lot of my
Yankees radio.
Your home for Boomerang Geo. Mornings from 6 to 10. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York.
First inning RBIs by O'Hearn and Kowser. As Baltimore up 2-0 as we play bottom of the second with Cody Bellinger leading off for the Yankees. Cleanup hitter today and brought to you by Citgo. Dean Kramer into the wind and first pitch to Cody. Swing on and hit to the gap left center field. Got some carry, but Mullins is going to get under it right in front of the 399 sign, about a step short of the track. And there's one down. Cody was the cleanup man. Clean up on savings on every fill-up with Club Citgo. Download the app now to start saving.
Today's Acme Markets Home Run Payoff contestant is James M. from Perth Amboy. And James will win a $100 Acme Markets gift card for every homer the Yanks hit in the second. Visit WFAN.com/Acme for your chance to hit it big.
Here's DH Giancarlo Stanton. 5 for 15 since being activated. First pitch. It is in there. Slider from Dean Kramer.
I think for a while going forward, you're going to see him play a couple of days, then take a day off, couple of days, day off. That way it moves around the DH so other people can get half a day off.
As Booney always talks about the 6 guys, they're shuffling around. Here's the next pitch outside, 1-1. Giancarlo is 5 for 18 with 8 strikeouts against Dean Kramer. Kramer out of UNLV, 6'2", 210-pound right-hander. 29 years old. Here's pitch. It's in there. About letter high. 1-2. Kramer pitched a 1-2-3 first inning, a strikeout, and a couple of groundouts. One down here in the home second, 2-0 Baltimore. Love to see Stanton get on a tear. Here's 1-2. Pitch outside with a fastball, 2-2.
And he knows how to pace himself to ramp up for the parts of the month that are important. It takes him a while. You know, you haven't played since last year. It takes you a while to ramp up and feel very comfortable. And he's dealing with those elbows that isn't going to go away.
2-2 and a breaking ball, swing and a miss.
Yeah,
Second strikeout for Kramer, 2 away.
And Dean is really spotting the ball in these couple of innings.
First pitch at the bottom of the second, 94-mile-an-hour fastball, brought to you by Optimum Fiber. Don't take slow for an answer. So quick 2 outs. Here's Jazz Chisholm, 9 for his last 24. Got his batting average up to 236. Hitting 236 with 10 homers and 26 runs batted in. First pitch from Kramer. Swung on and driven deep to right. It's got some hook. It's got some carry. It's a one-hopper up against the fence. Hustling into second with a head-first dive is Jazz Chisholm. He thought it was gone, and then he shifted into high gear. So a 2-out double, the first hit of the afternoon for the Yankees.
And we'll look at that again. That was right down the middle of the plate. He was trying to get it in on him, missed, came back over the middle of the plate, and he just smashed it.
Jazz
Chisholm now 10 hits in his last 25 at-bats.
Double. His 6th, stretching his back out as he talks to Jackson Holiday. Doing a little stretching there.
He's hitting .351 since he came off the injured list.
Good to see that. So here's DJ LeMahieu, a chance to move him along. Base hit will score him. LeMahieu, 256, couple of homers and 9 runs batted in. Kramer from the stretch doesn't even look at the batter, at the runner at second. Delivers the slider for strike.
Well, see, I don't mind this at all. There are 2 outs. The guy who's going to hurt you is the guy with the bat in his hand. There's 2 outs here. Concentrate on getting him out.
Oh, I don't disagree with it, but usually you do
give
a token look.
But I kind of like that he's doing this. You know, he's still third base fine.
There's a perfunctory look right there. Pitch up top and inside to DJ, 1-1.
See, so many guys, not everybody has pinpoint control. And the focus is so strong for a lot of these, particularly the back end of the rotation guys.
Right. Who did we see recently? It was a similar situation. He kept throwing to second or kept looking. It's like 2 outs. He's not going anywhere. Right. 1-1. Breaking ball, swing on, line drive, left field. Jazz got a good break. He's coming around third. It's being waved on. Here's the throw from left field. It hits him. And there's a collision at home plate. Jazz still has to touch the plate. He does with his left hand. He and the catcher, Maverick Hanley, getting up slowly. The Yankees run the board. And taking second on the throw is DJ LeMahieu, and both training staffs coming out, and both managers coming out.
Single RBI error on the catcher for dropping that ball because he had that and Jazz was out. And for some reason, and I know that Hanley's the one that's got the armor on, but Hanley took the worst of that. If we can see that again, they're standing with him, and he's going to, this just Gary Sanchez. He was just brought up because Rutschman's on the injured list.
Boy.
And Jazz had to go back and make sure. He crashed into.
He jumped and got a knee in the chest. He flipped the catcher over and also got him on the shoulder, maybe even
his
the head.
He got him on the head. His arm hit him on the head, and he was
airborne.
Yeah, he was airborne, and he was on all fours.
Jazz looked like he was trying to get him. He was hoping maybe he could jump over him. He had a little bit of stumble. Yeah, that's what happened.
He tried to jump over. He was trying to jump over the arm, and the arm was out. So the arm probably was hurt, and then he had a knee in his chest and an elbow in his face. And Tony Manzolino, the manager, is out with the catcher and the trainer. He's trying to get himself together. He's getting the glove is ruined. He had to get a new glove. See if we got a helmet here. Boy.
Yeah, the throw was up the line. That's why that's what led to the collision. That was not pretty at all. And thankfully, it's like young man's he's doing some inventory right now.
You're going to tell that's tough. It's tough, and you know that he wants to stay in, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely,
this is his second time around. This is the 16th game he's played this season. So DJ with an RBI, his 10th. Yankees on the board. It's 2-1 Baltimore. And they're going to take him out.
They're going to take him out of the game.
Yeah, he looks woozy. That first step he took was woozy.
No, he is. You can't. He took an elbow to the head.
Mm-hmm. And a knee to the chest area. And good job by the trainer. He clearly must not have correctly answered the questions put forward.
No, and you can see if the eyes are darting around, if his eyes are focused. And now we're going to have to wait for Gary Sanchez.
Wow, that's a tough break. He already got Rutschman was scratched Friday night, and he was in the lineup until about 20 minutes before him.
Oblique for him too. It's unbelievable.
Right?
Unbelievable.
25 years ago, did you know what an oblique was?
No, Dennis Eckersley didn't know what an oblique was 25 years ago either. So now we're going to have to wait for.
And Hanley's
who knows where Gary was?
Hanley's not that big a guy. He's 5'9", and he had Jazz coming in pretty much full speed. He took a heck of a shot.
Now they do have. It's kind of interesting. If he's hurt and has to go in concussion protocol, they have one of their kids, one of their prospects. He's a little further down, but they've got a catching prospect that's really, really good. They don't want to bring him up, however. One, because it starts the clock on him, and two, they want him to play every day, so he gets. But supposedly, he's a big-time prospect. And it takes time. Another catcher, Gary, obviously wasn't sitting on the bench.
And he was not. That's no fault. That's not placing any blame or not.
Fault.
I mean, hey, he got a day off. He's probably watching and listening inside. Enjoying the day off and knowing he probably could be pressed into service later on.
Right, absolutely. And then tomorrow he plays.
Right.
They go home and they play Texas. And there he comes.
This is the back end of a two-city trip. They were down in Tampa Bay for 4 and up here for 3.
Here comes El Gary, as the guys used to call him, wearing number 99 since he is an Oriole. And if you think it has anything to do with Aaron Judge, you're right.
Tough break for Hanley.
Yeah,
it
really is. Just got here.
You figure he's only going to be here for a short period anyway, and he gets, as they say, got blowed up in the early part of the game. I'll say this. That hurt having Jazz run into you. Thank goodness it wasn't Judge or Stanton.
I think it was that elbow, and I'm not saying he did an elbow.
Oh, no.
Obviously, he was trying to get out of the way, and the elbow was up.
Yeah.
Hit him in the face.
No, there was nothing malicious about it. It was contact that was going to happen given where the throw was.
But good hitting by DJ LeMahieu to get back to a baseball thing, and this is very important.
DJ, the tying run out at second, 2 outs. Here's Austin Wells, 2 for 7 with a home run against Kramer. Dean Kramer, right-hander on the mound for the Orioles. 4-3 here, 4-3 against the Yankees in his career. Breaking ball way outside, ball 1. And he's 2-1 in 4 starts here at Yankee Stadium. And tough break from Maverick Hammond. So hopefully he can shake this off and
that could have
be
been
available again tomorrow. No, that could have really been bad. 1-0. And, swinging a miss by Wells on a breaking ball that was up. First pitch at the bottom of the second. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Brought to you by Optimum Fiber. Don't take slow for an answer.
The other thing about DJ, the ball 107 miles an hour, he pulled that ball, which we haven't seen a lot. We've seen him going the opposite way, but good strong pull.
1-1. Off-speed pitch. Way out front, swinging a miss. Orioles put 2 on the board immediately on Will Warren. They sent 7 men to the plate. RBIs by O'Hearn and Cowser. And now the Yankees have responded with 2 outs and RBI by LeMahieu, scoring Jazz Chisholm, who had a 2-out double. LeMahieu, not particularly fast, gets the lead off at second. Here's the 1-2 to Wells, swings and misses through a breaking ball, and that'll do it. Yankees do get on the board with a run on 1 hit, and they're in a man left. We go to the 3rd inning. It's 2-1 Baltimore on WFAN Yankees Radio, driven by Jeep.
Hey folks, Cardinal Dolan here. When was the last time you went to Sunday Mass? If it's been a while, join us this weekend. Visit archny.org and click on Parish Finder.
Well, when we moved downtown San Diego from Qualcomm to Petco Ballpark, new uniforms were on the way, and this is the Padre home white. This jersey is from 2007, which was a career year for myself, winning a Cy Young. There's some different memories that stand out. One in this uniform against the Braves, where I struck out a Padre record 16, wearing this jersey, trying to make the Padre and the Friar faithful proud.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
Stadium, Dave Sims, along with Susan Waldman and Matt Shortis, Rick Roush, and Emmanuel Barbari. We got 2, 3, and 4 coming up against Will Warren. It's a 2-1 Baltimore lead, top of the 3rd. Arias, Henderson, and O'Hearn. First pitch from Warren, swung on, hit right back to him, knocked it down. He can't find it. It's right under his feet. Recovers, throws, got him. What a play.
Storage Post is your home for local self-storage solutions, climate control units, top-notch security, and official self-storage partner of the New York Yankees. I didn't see that play closely enough, but I did notice that Gunnar Henderson was being mic'd up in that inning when that ball happened, and I keep thinking the last time Jazz made an error while he was talking to whoever was on Apple, maybe it was. And Gunnar Who knows? As Dave Roberts said to me, it's a losing battle. Don't even start.
The first pitch to Gunner upstairs. Ball one.
He prefaced it with, I don't like it either, but but it's a losing battle.
I hope Dave Roberts and Mike Schilt were able to maybe break bread and have a beverage together and disagree. After the histrionics a couple of nights ago, ball 2 up high.
Yeah, my guess is that Dave Roberts and Mike Schilt do not dislike each other. I mean, they've been around too long, and it's a heated battle, and it's good fodder for columnists.
2-0. Here's pitch. Fastball away, 3-0. Henderson, first time up, walked in a 3-1 pitch, and he's ahead here, 3-0.
Do you think Dave Roberts actually dislikes anybody?
No. No chance.
Doc.
Here's the pitch. Gets in with a fastball, so he's back in the count 3-1. Top of the third, 1 out, 2-1 lead for Baltimore. Rubber game of this series. O's lead the season series 3-2. 3-1 from Warren. Swing on a hit, foul down the third baseline past Buck Britton, third base coach.
And in a strange turn of events, not so strange with the schedules the way they are. The Yankees do not see the Orioles again until September.
In the last 2 weekends of the season, right?
Yeah.
3-2. Here's the pitch. Swing on the bat. Look out for the bat. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
There's a place between...
There's a swing and a miss, by the way.
Well, a young man had that bat, and obviously there's a guard takes it away immediately. But here's what happened. We call it the moat. There's
that's what it is.
Walkway between the first 4 rows and the rest of the stands. It actually hit that walkway, bounced back into the front stands, and a guy in the front row caught it.
And here's a pitch, swung on, hit the other way. Peraza can't get it. It's in the left field. A base hit off the bat of Ryan O'Hearn, who's 2 for 2. Drove in a run on a base hit to right field in the first inning.
So Ryan O'Hearn, the RBI single to right, and now this little shot to left.
And they were playing him up the middle, and he hit it right behind where Peraza had been. Smart hitting. Warren with that strikeout of Henderson, that's his second K. Runner at first, 2 down, and Ramon Laureano DHing today. Right-hand hitter, first pitch. Swing and a miss, the slider.
And it looks like that young man is getting to keep that bat.
Well, that's cool. I tell you what, that might be the longest bat throw we've seen this year. Hope nobody's hurt.
There comes no. Kid caught it perfectly, and it didn't hit anybody.
A 1 from Warren. Worked inside, tried to jam him. He took it for ball 1.
Usually what happens is they take back that bat because that's somebody's game bat. And then they'll give him a replica. That's probably what's going to happen, but it's an Orioles, so they haven't talked to them yet.
2 out and a run at first. 2-1 Baltimore. There's 1-1 from Warren. Fastball missed outside. 2-1. Laureano. Flat out the right first time. 0 for 3 last night. And 0 for 4 in game 1 with a couple strikeouts. Warren wiping his brow, steps off the rubber. Takes himself a little better foothold. Infield straight up. So's the outfield for Laureano. The 2-1 from Warren. Chopper, right side, foul ball. Coming to you live from the Provident Bank broadcast booth. Provident Bank, commitment you can count on. Visit Provident.bank to learn more. Crowd still coming in. Going to be a good house here again today. Last night, 46,142. They had 47,000 and change on Friday night. That was, Aaron Judge Superman bobblehead night. Here's the 2-2 with 2 out, runner at first. Well sets up outside, and a pitch right down the middle. Strike 3 call. Third strikeout for Warren, second in this inning. He strands a runner. We go to the home third. It'll be Peraza, Trent Grisham, and Aaron Judge coming up. It's 2-1 Baltimore on WFAN Yankees Radio, driven by G.
beauty of this jersey is the feel, the texture, the thin, the stitching is heavy, so you kind of feel that jersey that was very heavy. Check it out, the last name and the number, they have a little glitter on them, so they kind of stack up. It just feels right. I had some really cool cleats to go with it. The way it gets dirty when you slide, it just kind of like rubs off on that glitter. It's really, really cool.
More. Oswald Peraza going to lead things off here. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Baltimore. RBI by DJ LeMahieu got the Yankees on board. All right.
Okay.
There is Peraza swing and a line drive right at the shortstop Henderson, who catches it belt high with two hands, one out.
So it's an error on the left fielder, not on the catcher. I didn't know how you could give an error to the catcher. Guys, he has the ball in his hand, and the guy gets drilled. He dropped the ball. I'm sorry, that's not an error. How about the fact that he had to come halfway up the line to get it?
Right, exactly.
Okay, so it's a single RBI and an error on the left fielder.
Yeah, not an E2. So one out. Top of the order here is Trent Grisham again. Struck out on a 1-2 pitch to open up the home first. And looks at a breaking ball for a strike. Trent, the center fielder, stepping to the plate. Centers Healthcare would like to remind you they're not just care, they're care that moves you. CentersHealthcare.com. Trent hitting at 248. Next pitch here from Kramer's popped up. Medium center field. Here comes Mullins. One hand catch catches the ball way above his head. He holds that arm way up there, makes the play. And there's two down.
You know, here, Dean Kramer is not even at 30 pitches. You got 2 outs in the third inning. He's at 27 pitches. So control a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Can get that fastball up 94, 95.
Well, here's Aaron Judge, grounded out the third his first time. He is now 5 for 16 against Kramer. 4 of those hits are home runs. 2-1 Orioles here, bottom 3 at the stadium. First pitch takes it outside, ball 1. Third inning brought to you by Spectrum. Life moves, so should your connection. Get fast and reliable speeds on the network that moves with you, Spectrum. Judge still dominating the leaderboard in the American League. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss. We've seen that slow curve the last several at-bats where it's about letter high and he's just missing it. And he's taking some ferocious cuts at it. Saw a few of those last night and the night before. So 1-1. Here's a pitch from Kramer. Fastball missed outside. 2-1. Yankees in first place, 44-32. However, creeping up rather quickly. The Rays at a game and a half back. Toronto 3-bet. 2-1 here to Judge. And the pitch. Fastball missed outside. 3-1. A little low. This is Jensen Visconti, the home plate umpire. Kramer so far today, he's got 5 swing and miss. So does Will Warren. Infield straight up and playing deep. Outfield straight away and deep. 3-1 to Judge. Takes the on the outside corner for strike 3-2. Judge it. 366, 27 homers, 61 runs batted in. 2 outs and a payoff pitch coming here from Kramer to Judge. And it's a pitch. He fought it off. Goes the other way. Muscles it to right field. He got jammed and got a base hit for his troubles.
Right. That was almost a mistake hit, but he's so strong. You look at that again. It's coming in on him, and he had to pull the hands in and go the opposite way with that. There's a 4 bouncer through the side. What's the difference?
MPH
like a line
on
drive,
that was about 35 miles an hour.
No, it looks like a line drive in the box score.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. 2-out base runner.
He's laughing, so he knows exactly what, or maybe he's listening. He's saying line drive in the box score.
There's Ben Rice. Grounded out to second. And he takes a pitch at top of the zone. Off-speed pitch for strike. And at 231, 13 homers, 28 runs batted in. He's at first base. Goldschmidt, 2 days off. And Aaron Boone talking about, hey, Paul always says, I'll be ready. You let me know. There's a 1 pitch. Check swing the other way down the third baseline. This could result in a hit, and it will. Marias just eats it. That didn't even get out of the infield. That's another base hit. So 2 on, 2 out here in the third. Yankees down a run, 2-1.
And this knee-jerk reaction, that ball was up and away, and he's trying to get out of the way of that. That's how strong he is. This reaction, everybody does it. If it's a left-handed hitter, everybody moves over, no matter who it is. And they did that, and Urias was playing shortstop, so there was no way he was going to be able to get that.
Here's Cody Bellinger, 0 for 1, flight out to center. He's our cleanup hitter today, sponsored by Roto-Rooter. Leaf plumbing to the pros at Roto-Rooter. A 2-out threat here by the Yankees, down 2-1 in the third to Baltimore. Bellinger would love to crank something here. His first pitch. Breaking ball for strike. Bellinger, 1 for 6 career against Dean Kramer. Here's the 0-1 from the right-hander. And pitch swung on and fouled straight back. Every time I say Dean Kramer, I keep waiting for somebody to say, well, yeah, but how's Dean Wormer from Animal House? Couldn't help it. I couldn't. I had to get it out of my thought process. Now I'm good. I'm clean. 0-2 here to Bellinger. Judge and Rice, 2 big guys on base. Here's a pitch from Kramer. Oh, a late swing to spoil it. Keep the AB alive.
Bellinger hitting almost 300 with men in scoring position with 2 outs. Been very good all season.
And another guy like Rice and Grisham, boy, they get swings just tailor-made for this ballpark.
May and June, Cody's hitting 290 as opposed to 204 first 2 months of the season. He had in March and April.
Here's the 0-2 and a pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. He got fooled. He was reaching for it. Didn't come close. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. 3 in the books. It's 2-1 Baltimore on WFAN Yankees Radio, driven by Jeep.
And you have a chance to make an impact.
A snack that Freddie cannot resist.
I would have to say chips and guacamole. Organic mango, yep.
Is that because of the strong Dominican contingent in the major leagues, bro? Has anybody ever struck out and gone crazy and smashed the cooler full of mangoes?
Nah, our team's not really into smashing each other's stuff, I guess.
Are you a seasoning guy? You like to drown your stuff in dips and sauces?
No. Gotta watch my figure.
And it looks great, brother.
I appreciate it.
Very sexy man.
Yeah,
Let's go, Freddie Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.
And Colton Cowles, the opener, 5-3. And here we go to the 4th inning. Colton Cowser leads off against Will Warren. Warren so far 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. A hit, batter, and a walk scored in the first inning. Here's the first pitch, a breaking ball down low, ball 1.
Scoreboard brought to you by your Food Bazaar Supermarket. Shop local, eat global with Food Bazaar Supermarket. There's one game going on, and that's a noon game in Tampa Bay, and Detroit has scored first. It's 1-0 Detroit, top of the second in Tampa. It's Casey Mize against Zach Littell.
There's a breaking ball. That time it's over the plate for strike 1-1. The Cowser delivered an RBI double to left. Back in the first.
And nobody else is going to start till 1:30.
Next pitch from Warren. Swing on, hit hard. DJ right there, one hopper. Out on the short grass, throws over easy to Ben Rice for the out. The one away, ball hit hard to the right side. There's Cedric Mullins. 6 left-handers in the batting order for Tony Manzolino. Took over back on May 17th when Brandon Hyde was dismissed. After 7 years and change, his pitch swung on, popped up. Long run Bellinger coming on. Can't get it. It's on the warning track. But Brandon Hyde, manager of the year in 2023, and then dismissed after a slow start this year. They were 3-2 in March, 9-16 in April, 9-18 in the month of May.
You just pull off a 12-7 Skeen. A lot of the difference is that the people that were injured are now back.
Big difference. Here's your one to Mullins. And he swings and pulls one foul. Very cloudy day here at the stadium. Currently it's 83 degrees. And a lot of these folks got out here early for this 11:30 start.
You know, I think it had also to do, just think, they've been in the playoffs 2 years in a row. They haven't won a game. I think they're, looking for, not an excuse, but I think if they didn't get off to a good start, that was going to, but that's the background of it, I think.
0-2. Break the ball down low. And Wells took a shot.
But the fact that they didn't have a pitching staff isn't Brandon Hyde's fault.
Top of the fourth, sponsored by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. Book a relaxing massage or facial after the game. 1-2 here to Mullins. Breaking ball put in play to DJ on the right side. Another two-hop friendly ground ball, and he throws over plenty of time to get Mullins 2 down.
Think how awkward that is for someone on a man's staff to take over his job. It's awkward. That's the word for it.
And no doubt that these managers, for the most part, will get guys they've been close to over the years. So, I mean, he's one of your boys, and now you got to replace him. Here's a line drive into the gap, right center field. It's going to get down before Grisham can get to it. That's off the bat of Dylan Carlson. Didn't hit it hard, and it was just as well if he'd hit it hard. Grisham would have had it. Base hit for Carlson. He's 1 for 2 today. Gary Sanchez, hearing it from some fans here. He came on to replace Maverick Handley, who was injured in a collision with Jazz Chisholm back in the second inning. Sanchez, right-hand hitter, always dangerous. Got to hit your spots. Here's first pitch strike. Sanchez yesterday, 1 for 3. And he had a 2-run single and an infield hit in game 1 on Friday. Right-hand hitter deep in that box. Here's your one. In there again. And a sinker working out pretty well here for Will Warren. Sanchez readjusting his gloves, now steps in. Deep in that batter's box, infield pulled around to the left. Jazz about a step and a dive from the line at third. Here's 0-2. Pitch. Strike 3 called. No protest. Nicely done by Will Warren. Closes out the 4th inning with a strikeout, and the runs a hit. No errors and a man left. That was his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. It's 2-1 Baltimore on WFAN Yankees Radio, driven by G.
All right, I got a couple packs of 1986 Topps baseball cards. Let's open them up and see who's in here. I love the bubble gum. Oh my. Tom Seaver, but with a White Sox uniform on. The franchise for the Mets. I played with him in 1983, my rookie season. I was just in awe with these guys when I saw them in spring training and got a chance to play with them. Baseball cards of memories.
Baseball store and NewEraCap.com. New Era, the official on-field cap of Major League Baseball.
Right you are, last 3 innings, no runs, 2 hits. Hasn't walked anybody since then. And in the process, recording 4 strikeouts.
Yeah.
A lot of soft contact.
Yep, he's been fine.
Top of the order, Jackson Holliday, left-hand hitter, swings and sends it to left center field. Going back nice and easy. And I love watching this guy. Trent Grisham just goes back, 1, 2, 3. I got it. Catches it belt high, like, oh, by the way, like he's loading a sack of apples or something.
No, except for the not climbing walls, he is Devon White.
That's
This
a
is
good
how
call.
he plays.
That's a good call.
He's a Devon White.
He's a left-handed version.
Yep, except Devon White used to like to climb up walls.
And did it well.
For years he did it well. But it's the same thing. He'd go,
Yes, so smooth.
Puts the glove out.
Not stressed. I got this. There's Ramon Urias inside to him, ball 1. He's hit by a pitch and scored in the first inning and had a comebacker to Warren. And he knocked it down, couldn't find it. He was looking, he did a 360 and it was right underneath him. And he recovered in time to throw him out. 1-0 pitch, swung on, popped up. Playable, left side for Peraza on the dirt. He's the shortstop today for Volpe. And he makes a side saddle catch, 2 down.
And if you guys don't know who Dave and I are talking about, go to YouTube and put in Devon White. He was a center fielder for the Toronto Blue Jays in their glory years when they won the World Series, 91, 92. He was as good as it got, boy. He was leadoff hitter, center fielder. He was Trent Grisham, except he climbed walls.
And he was a little bit taller.
And he was a little taller,
right,
a little
but the
thinner.
same thing, just...
So
easy,
some guys, and it's there, and you put the glove out, and there it is.
Some guys look like they just got the starter's gun. You just heard it. Here's the first pitch. Henderson to strike, and they're running. Yeah, and he's got, I got this nice and easy. Boom, I got it. Kind of throwing in, hey, can I get you want any sugar in your coffee? Next pitch, down low, 101.
I never want sugar in my coffee.
I stopped taking it years ago.
Poison. Sugar equals poison. Right, Emmanuel?
Well, he stays away from it, too?
No, I tell him to. You're putting poison in your body.
1-1. Back to a breaking ball. Just missed. Gunnar Henderson. Henderson walked and scored, and a strikeout. Warren really is a nice work here.
Well, this is terrific. This is a wonderful, wonderful outing, and it's just too bad that the Yankees have not scored for him except 1 run.
Swing and a miss. Wild swing and a miss on a 4-seamer. They had some bite to it. 2-2. 4 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and none since the first inning. He has calmed down very nicely. Pitching coaches always say, execute your pitches. 2-2. Bounce that one up. 3-2. Ryan O'Hearn. Counting switch hitter Carlson. 7 lefties in the lineup today. Looking for the final out here in the 5th inning. Warren kicks and deals. Here's a pitch. Swing on a late swing. Fouled straight back by Henderson. It may be hot outside, but there's no broiling going on in the stadium right now. It is some serious cloud cover.
Yep.
3-2. Here's a pitch. Swing on, hit foul again. Left side.
Probably very comfortable out there.
Infield pulling around to the right. Got Peraza playing up the middle. Jazz playing what would be a normal deep shortstop. Outfield straight up. Outfield of Bellinger, Grisham, and Judge. Infield Chisholm, Peraza, LeMahieu, and Rice with Wells behind the plate. Volpe got a day off. Nice bounce back by that young man yesterday.
Yeah.
3-2 here from Warren. The pitch. Ooh, he just missed inside. Warren was heading to the dugout. He thought he had it.
He took 4 steps off the mound on the way.
So he's walked 2, and both times it's been Henderson.
Well, you try and be really fine with a guy like Gunnar.
Better be.
Lefty, and he's so good. He's contact hitter, can hit the ball all over the park. You got to be really careful with him.
Let's even get O'Hearn. O'Hearn, first pitch swinging, first inning RBI single, first pitch swinging, a third base hit the left. Left-hand hitter looks at the first pitch strike. Infield still playing hard to the right. For yet another left-hander. 0-1 to O'Hearn. Now Warren steps off. Yankees got their run, second inning, a 2-out RBI single to left field by DJ LeMahieu. 2-1 ball game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball missed down. And the count goes to 1-1. Ben Rice is at first base today. I liked how Booney switched he and Escara yesterday. Put Rice behind the plate. Bouncing ball up the middle. DJ. Now cut in front is Peraza. And throws out the runner O'Hearn. And that'll do it for the Orioles in the fifth. When we come back, it'll be Wells, Peraza, and Grisham. Yankees trail 2-1 to Baltimore on WFAN Yankees Radio, driven by Jeep.
Hey everyone, Boomer Esiason here. You know, in the game of life, just like on the field,
There's the bunt. That could be trouble as Petrie. No, Stevie dives in and beats it. Good effort by Steve Lyons.
And that'll be a base hit right there. Good job. I'll tell you one thing, not a bad defensive play either by the Tigers.
Did you see that? He's going to get the dirt out, and all of a sudden he unbuckled his pants and they fell down.
You know, and I did start back in 1978. I did the Yankees and the Red Sox playing the one-game playoff. And ABC said if the Yankees win, Reggie will play, and then you'll go broadcast with Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson. And that's how I started my broadcast. And that's the Bucky Dent home run. So every time I see Bucky Dent, I go, thank you for making me a broadcaster.
We wanted to introduce something new. And then working in some of our past and what the past can look like in the future. I think our players absolutely love it, and our fans, we think they'll learn to love it, especially if you can win in it. You know, that kind of solves everything.
A reminder to make your favorite players All-Stars this year. Scan the QR code on your screen to cast your vote for the 2025 Pro Spirit MLB All-Star Game. You can do it daily or visit MLB.com/vote. Talked about Ryan O'Hearn having a great chance to represent the Orioles. The leading vote getter, a designated hitter. Here's Austin Wells to lead off the home half of the fifth. You know who leads in the American League at second base? Former Yankee Gleyber Torres. He's having a terrific year in Detroit. He still probably has a lot of Yankee fans voting for him.
You know, I was talking to Joey Cora with the Tigers third base coach, infield guy, talking about the way Gleyber approached everything since the start of spring training. He also talked about Javi Baez maybe being the most valuable guy on their club because of his, you know, he was okay with playing center field, shortstop, second base, third base, wherever the team needed him. And what that did for their morale and the club and the example it set, that he was willing to do whatever it took for the club to be better. And sometimes I think people should follow his lead a little bit.
Well, you look at Baez, I mean, he could be comeback player of the year and going out in the outfield and swinging the bat.
I can't tell you, Jeff, what that does for a manager when you have a good player like that that's willing to do that, and the options it gives you on the bench. That's what I like about the Yankees roster. They got a lot of different pieces that move into different areas.
2-2 to Austin Wells. Swung on and sent the other way. Cowser has a play on it shy of the track for out number one. You look at the teams. I mean, we talked to Aaron Boone as well as far as how do you navigate in all these players and how do you keep them happy? And all of them are on board with taking a couple days off. You look at Goldschmidt taking 2 days off. This is a veteran player. He's having a really good year. I go back to the years that we won the World Series, and we had Strawberry, Tim Raines. We had a lot of Charlie Hayes, a lot of great players that should be starting on other teams. Joe Torre went to him right away, just like Aaron Boone did. Say, hey, listen, this is going to be your role. You're going to probably start maybe 3 times a week. You're going to maybe come off the bench, and they bought into it.
But you tell them before you bring them in. You don't surprise them once they get here.
Right.
It's part of the gig. Like. I'll say it again, like I said about Aaron in the pregame. When your best players play the game right, it opens up so many things for you to be able to do. Because up here, one of the strongest things is peer pressure, Matt. I mean, you want to be accepted. You want to be viewed by your teammates as a guy that's there for all of them.
2 balls and no strikes to Oswald Peraza to 2-1 now. Meanwhile, guys, Dean Kramer's just rolling right along. It's a Yankee lineup that was loud last night. They'd hit 13 homers in their last 4 games. Just a couple of rallies today and only a run. And the 2-1 is swung on a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Peraza.
Even I look at a guy like LeMahieu who's had his ups and downs. I mean, for 2 or 3 years, he's as good as you want to see. But, he's had some tough goes. But you never heard him complain once. Need me to play first, need me to play second, need me to play third. And, yeah, he's getting paid to do it. Don't get me wrong. But I bet he's pretty excited about LSU at the College World Series. Huh?
That's right.
You might have to give him a couple of days off so he can watch the game. Coastal Carolina, huh? That's fun.
Hey, Matt, we see Dean Kramer plugging along right here. You guys brought up a last inning. He's very valuable to this team. It was a couple of starts ago against Detroit. He was cruising along first 3 innings. 4th inning, he gave up 4 runs. And most pitchers in that situation melt down, may be able to give you another inning. But he was able to save the bullpen that day and go 7 innings, giving up no more runs. And he threw 105 pitches that game. And that's why I called him earlier when I was talking to Cowser about being a bulldog, because that's kind of his mentality. He will get out here and grind even days when he doesn't have his best stuff.
Fly ball into shallow right center field for Mullins. Boy, Rob, you're preaching to the choir. A manager here who loves innings eaters, guys that can do that, and a reliever. I mean, you guys love hearing stuff like that.
Oh, we used to sit down in the bullpen and say, you got to be kidding me. 5 and dive again? What are we doing? We carried 10 or 11 pitchers. We didn't have the luxury of having 13. And when you had starters that went deep in the game, it makes your bullpen better. When you have good starters, your bullpen's even better when they're going 6, 7 innings all the time.
Man, you know who else is real valuable is that long reliever that comes in a short start. And he may get cuffed around a little bit, but I'll tell you, those other relievers, when they go up to that locker room after the game, they got their arm around him because he wore it for everybody and allowed your team to be better in the long haul.
We had a guy named Ramiro Mendoza, probably our unsung hero as far as long guys start, pitch short, anything he needed.
I had a guy in Baltimore named T.J. McFarland, Rule 5 draft. He just took the ball. But, what you can't do, you can't send those guys out. They do the job, and they do a super job, and they save your team, and then what happens? They get sent out the next day. Those are the type of guys you want to reward if you can.
1-1 home to Grisham is beaten on the ground for Holiday at second. It's a 1-2-3-5 spun by Dean Kramer. 1-run Baltimore lead still in check through 5. Mullins to left. Verdugo started in, and the Orioles are going to win it. Oh, my! Welcome to Club Sid. Yeah, about a year ago, these two teams got together in a memorable Sunday on Roku in Baltimore. Nelly, you and I were together for that one. It felt like we didn't really know who was going to take home the prize because both teams punched and counterpunched in the 8th and 9th. Orioles ended up winning. What a game that was.
Yeah, the day before the All-Star break. It's about 1,000 degrees in Baltimore that day.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, everybody talks about hot weather places.
There's a flare out to right. The Judge is going to track down one away.
For about 3 weeks in Baltimore, close. It is close. They call it close. The area you could cut it with a knife coming off the Chesapeake Bay. That is a hot place. Rick Dempsey called it the hottest place he ever played for about a month.
Really?
Oh, it's smoking. The air does not move.
No.
Wait a minute.
It's Texas, outside of Texas, was pretty bad too.
There's some air moving around there. That's about it.
But you're right.
I told our owner one year in Texas, said, the heck with signing a player. Can we put an umbrella over this place? And they finally moved over to the dome.
I'm still trying to get used to Rick Dempsey saying Baltimore's the hottest place. He played in St. Louis now.
Yep.
In the old stadium with the turf and the closed-in facility.
Not for long.
That's right. 0-1 to count to Colton Cowser. But both of these right-handers have been great this afternoon, and both, Nelly, as you were observing during the break, have really relied primarily on their heaters.
Well, Warren's done a really nice job of settling down. Now, it's been a rough now going into the 6th inning. He's had to battle his way through some jams.
Peraza with a good play up the middle, and they're two-way.
Especially with a team like the Orioles have been very aggressive, but that fastball, once you command a fastball, you know, you see some clubs try to preach off speed. Oh, the slug on the fastball is up. Well located fastball, the slug is not going to be up. And you look at both these pitchers today, and Kramer, 72 pitches, 51 of those have been fastballs, and he's been outstanding against the Yankees. Well, Warren has been outstanding against the Orioles after that first inning.
Cedric Mullins now 0 for his first 2. A couple of ground balls for LeMahieu this afternoon.
You locate your fastball, everything, your splitter, if you throw a split, a breaking ball, a changeup, everything comes off of that because your mechanics have to be dialed in with that fastball. And then you can start throwing that breaking ball. You start throwing the changeup. You start with off speed, and that's all you want to rely on. All of a sudden, you want to try to come back with a fastball. It's not even going to come close to the strike zone.
Okay, you're the manager now. You're thinking, you got somebody up in the bullpen. You think he might be towards the end here, and he's having a pretty crisp inning. And you're sitting there. It's kind of like Schmidt's last inning. You know, you sit there and, boy, you're making it a little tough on me. You like to give it up. I was thinking about the ground ball up the middle, Matty. You had the ball go through the pitcher's wickets, basically. It comes off the hill. The shortstop's in a place he doesn't normally play. The ball almost hits a bag coming through there. It's like a changeup coming through there. It's amazing to me the challenges they have to deal with.
1, 2, 3, 6. 5 strikeouts for Will Warren. Still a 1-run game at Yankee Stadium.
Well, this is a World Series card. Everybody said, you know, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher? I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. You know, pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so that she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
Or if you swap a jersey with one of the players on the National League, who who would it be? Who would you pick?
Okay, so I got an Ohtani jersey last year, so I'm gonna probably say Harper.
Maybe Judge. He's one of the greatest to play the game in the last 5, 6, 7 years, so it'd be cool to have his jersey. Ellie's been fun to watch. Ellie'd be a cool one. I mean, his jersey would probably be too big for me. It'd probably go down to my knees.
Aaron Judge leads things off in the home half of inning number 6. We welcome you back to Yankee Stadium here on Roku Channel with Buck Showalter, Jeff Nelson, Rob Long, Matt Vasgersian with you this afternoon. Good starting pitching, and so far so good as far as things are concerned for the Orioles right-hander Dean Kramer, who's really been good. Here's a gut check for him. Not only does he have to run the gauntlet here in this Yankee half of the 6th, but for Kramer, third time through the order has not yielded as pleasing a result. Opponents hit .380 and slug .646 when they see him for a third time. 0-1 the count to Judge, and it's a ball and a strike.
Every time I see Aaron Judge, I just came from a scouting combine, which is an interesting study. There were 31 players taken before him. Think about that. 31 players. I think Troy Afner was the scout. There might be some questions. I might go back through my scouting list and say, where did we have Judge there? That's a great draft pick. I mean, the body alone would jump out at you, Jeff.
How about Mike Piazza? What was he, in the 43rd round?
There's a big leaguer in every round. There's
46th round.
Yeah. There's a big leaguer in every round. It's just a matter of finding them.
3 balls and a strike to count to Judge. Remember when Judge debuted in 2016? He did so with a fellow rookie named Tyler Austin, who the Yankees and many people thought may have been the better prospect. And Tyler's not playing baseball anymore. Full count now, 3-2. You heard a lot about the big body, long swing, not sure. I think everybody's sure now.
I'll tell you one thing. He's turned into, when he first came up, he was a collision hitter. Guy had just collided with the ball and brute strength moved it out over there. But he's come so much further as a hitter. I mean, he's 3-1. He's going to see a cutter. 3-2. Chances are.
Yeah, breaking ball and missed. Yeah. And Judge is aboard on a leadoff walk. He is a modern-day superhero. Aaron Judge, mild-mannered by day. As soon as he puts on the pinstripes, he is not only a super Judge, he's a superhuman. Leading the league in batting, on base, slugging, OPS. On a pace to reach base 337 times. That's Bonds-type numbers. And he's aboard as the potential tying run here in the last of the 6th for Ben Rice.
That wouldn't surprise me here if the Orioles get up someone in their bullpen. I mentioned that third time around the lineup. They're trying to win a series here.
It's a ball and a strike to Ben Rice. And, the Yankees kind of capitalized on the superhero thing for Judge. This was given away on Friday, this bobblehead. There were lines up and down the Bronx.
Wait, you might want to
You taking that home?
Stick it up.
I was told I could not.
No?
That this needs to be returned.
Yeah, stick it up here and take some bids on it. See what you can do, Matt. We might be able to get a cab out of here.
That's lined into the corner in right field, and it'll rattle around. Trouble for Baltimore. Judge is being held at third. Rice into second, and the Yankees are in business in the 6th.
Well, Kramer's made a couple mistakes on that splitty. There's that split finger up.
A little hesitation in right field here. They had a play at second base.
And they did, and even Rice hung up about halfway. It didn't really break to second until the last minute.
It's kind of in between. Was he throwing the cutoff man or to the bag? Really didn't throw to either place. There's another 90 feet that you've given up that you could have had an out at second base.
First time the Yankees put their leadoff hitter aboard, and now it's a greater threat as Bellinger's jammed, dumps the ball into right. Great sliding catch by Dylan Carlson, and nobody can advance. That saved at least one run.
I didn't think he was going to get there. That's a heck of a catch. And with Judge at third, he was going about, 10 feet down the line, and he had to retreat back to third. Watch. Bellinger gets jammed. Carlson was playing more towards right center field. Had to run a long way. This is a great catch. Gets back up, and no chance Judge was going to tag on this. There you see, reads it. He's thinking it's going to drop. He's got to get back to the bag, and even so, I don't think they send him.
I think with one out, he might have been tagging from the get-go. If you know the guy's going to have to dive to make the catch, you kind of got no man's land there because of the ball. But you don't want to be standing on third and he catches a clean short hop and you're out at the plate. That's a tough base running call.
So now conference on the mound with Kramer, who's yielded 5 hits this afternoon. 3 of them have come on splitters. And maybe that's among the things being discussed as Keenan Aiken gets ready in a hurry.
All right, Matty, how you playing the infield here with Stanton with 1 out and a 1-run lead in the 6th?
Well, you bring him in and you risk the health and welfare of your infielders.
You want to make somebody really unhappy with you? Call him in.
Well, here's the thing with Aaron Judge at third. Sometimes the Yankees don't run that player run him with 1 out. A lot of clubs will break. You go on contact with 1 out. They're coming in, Buck, to answer your question.
Well, they're playing halfway. They're not all the way in. They're living to fight another day. This puts the third base coach in a tough quandary here when they're halfway like this. A lot of it's got to do with who's on deck and how you play the infield. You know, with Chisholm sitting there, you look at it a little differently. There's so many things that come into you. Your infield depths are so important over the course of the season. You know, where are you in the bullpen? You know, where are they? Where do you think you're going to score more runs? There's just so many factors that figure into this.
Counts 0-1 to Stanton, who's had a hard time with Kramer today.
But you can look at Judge with a secondary lead. You can almost see what he's going to do. If you'll watch Judge here with a secondary lead, Jeff, you tell me, is he going or not going?
I say he's not going. I think they don't want to risk any kind of slide at home plate. Plus, he doesn't really have a good secondary. There's his lead right there.
I think he's going.
0-2. And a swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout of the afternoon that Stanton has suffered through. He had struck out only twice in 17 plate appearances since being activated off the IL. 3 strikeouts on his line today.
And all 3 times on that fastball. Well, Kramer's done an outstanding job. That's going to be it for him.
Tony Mangiolino coming out with a hook in his pocket. He wants the left-hander Aiken to face Jazz Chisholm. 2nd and 3rd with 2 gone in a 1-run game. We'll be right back.
Some overnight oats right before the game. My teammates look at me like, what are you doing, dude?
My mom's cooking, probably. She makes some good. She's got a tuna fish casserole. That's pretty good.
I went 5 for 5. I need to eat the same thing. Last time, Saturday, I ate arepa with eggs. And then next day, I got to eat arepas with eggs. So my mom make it for me. And then when my mom is with me,
everything's good.
I save a lot of money.
Estamos lindo.
The best part of baseball? How about kicking back, ordering a Corona, and relaxing with fellow fans? La Playa's just a lime away with the official cerveza of MLB. Get yours. Order at Corona.com, ages 21 and over. Big moment in the game here this afternoon. 2nd and 3rd with 2 gone. And the Orioles go with Keegan Aiken to replace Dean Kramer. Aiken has been good for the Birds this year, making his 35th appearance of the season. He came on to face Jazz Chisholm on Friday with runners at 1st and 2nd and gave up a base hit. First pitch on a check swing, and Chisholm did not go around.
Aiken will feature a fastball, 93 to 95. That one right there, 95 four-seamer. A slider and also a changeup.
It was the slider that Jazz singled on Friday. There's a heater in for a strike to make it 1-1. Jazz swings and sends the ball out to right. Not far enough. Second and third with nobody out, and Baltimore pitching keeps the Yankees quiet. To the seventh, still a one-run lead for the Birds. Work by Dean Kramer this afternoon, keeping the Yankees quiet. He exited with 2 runners aboard and 2 out in the 6th. Ends up going 5 2/3, allows just 1 unearned run. So his success here in this building continues today. And he exits with the Orioles down just a run. Today's pitching matchup numbers brought to you by Corona Extra. Will Warren still in the game, entering his 7th inning of work. Both allowing only 5 hits, and offense hard to come by on a day like today. 1-1 to Dylan Carlson, leading off the Baltimore 7th.
And both pitchers doing it with their fastballs. Well located fastball. Kramer, outstanding job. 85 pitches. I bet you 60 of those, or 60 plus, were fastballs. Mixed in the cutter to righties and that split to lefties. Did an outstanding job with that fastball. Command some 2-seamers down and in on righties, 4-seamers away.
Carlson, Sanchez, and Holiday, 8, 9, then top of the order hitters here for Baltimore. Tim Hill is back up in the Yankee bullpen. He was up throwing earlier in the game. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dylan Carlson.
Imagine maybe Warren goes hitter to hitter here. If somebody gets on, that might be it. Or maybe he'd like to, or Aaron Boone like to see him get through Sanchez.
Carlson jerks that one into right field, and that's going to bound up against the wall. Judge up with it, throwing to second base. A very strong throw, but in safely with the head first slide is Carlson with a leadoff double.
I think you're right, Jeff. I think this is his last hitter here. That's a pitch that's hard to get the barrel on. That's a good job. A lot of guys take that pitch.
Yeah, that was a good swing there. 4-seamer, pulled his hands in, hit it off the barrel.
It's got to be a frustrating thing for a starter trying to keep this a close 1-run game. You've got a 2-strike count, and you give up a leadoff extra base hit. Now it's Sanchez, who was straightened up on 3 straight pitches in the 4th inning. They were all fastballs, so here's a slider for strike 1. 0-1. It's Sanchez behind 0-2 now. Tight game. And this is Aaron Judge between innings.
That's what I love about it. I guarantee you they're talking about whether or not he should have tagged at third. You know,
you don't think RBIs mean anything?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Sorry, I should have tagged. That would have been an RBI for you.
If you go from the get-go and he leaves his feet, you might take a shot there. Where they are in the batting order, too, I can see it. He kind of got caught in no man's land.
0-2 to Sanchez, and a swing and a miss at a wild sweeper that wasn't even close. As Tommy Lasorda used to say, Garvey couldn't hit that with an oar.
You know, the key part of this inning, stay with me, is when Urias comes up, because they're going to face Holiday with the left-hand pitcher, and he's going to have to stay in there for the right-handed hitter.
Something to watch when we come back. Tim Hill will be the new Yankee pitcher, trying to hold this at a one-run deficit. Pitching change, first of the day for New York. We'll be right back.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
I went to college at Northeastern University, and all my friends were Red Sox fans. And while in my 3 years there, I really grew to appreciate Red Sox Nation.
This kind of line is what Will Warren has given the Yankees a lot of this year. This is a guy who has really established himself as a starter to stay. Great job by Warren keeping it a one-run game. He hands it off to Tim Hill with a runner at second and one gone. Hill has been nasty on left-handed batters throughout his career. You'll see why in a moment. In fact, left-handed hitters just 8 hits in 60 plate appearances this year. Jackson Holiday sends a little pop fly out to right for Judge. And Carlson has to stay put at second. There are 2 away.
Well, Hill, big lefty, side armor, and he throws from that first base side of the rubber, and that is really intimidating. He doesn't have a big-time fastball, low 90s. But when you're big and you're coming down under and you're coming right at that left-handed hitter, I just saw Gunnar Henderson or Holiday there. He's pulling off the ball. A weak fly ball to right.
Here's the plate appearance you were talking about, Buck. A right-handed batter, Ramon Urias, against Hill. And it's 0-1.
You know, because of the rule change, you know, you got to face 3 hitters or finish the inning. And I don't think you're going to see him not attack this hitter with Gunnar Henderson on deck. But you really, it's a tough spot here, but it's a change in the game in the way you're asked to manage it. You can't make multiple changes here.
With the pitch clock and the speed of the game, you'd like to see that go away?
I don't know about go away. I'm more about tempo of the game as I am speed. You know, and you know, the umpires, you couldn't get the players to play faster, so what do you do? I mean, you had to put a clock on them.
Did you feel as an ex-manager that it kind of dictated a little bit about how your strategy would be in that game or even win a game?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. It's just like bringing in someone who can't hold runners with a guy who can steal a base. They've done, you know, so much has happened to help the stolen base. We haven't seen it play out today, but pitchers have a lot of different challenges that they didn't have in the past. Just the tempo of the game is what you really looking for.
It's been the longest plate appearance for Ramon Urias this afternoon. He had seen a total of 4 pitches in his first 3 plate appearances from Will Warren. 2 balls and 2 counts here. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Hill, and a ground ball for LeMahieu. So both bullpens stranding runners in scoring position. Welcome back to Corona Extra standings. Find the Yankees on top of the pack as they have been for much of the year in the AL East. Baltimore, despite the recent surge, still at the bottom of the number and 11 back. I think the team that's gotten so much attention, and for all the right reasons, the surging Tampa Bay Rays. They are on a roll. They've won 7 of their last 9, 22 of their last 30. And they're a game and a half within the Yankees atop the East.
It's surprising, you know, every year you keep counting out the Rays. Every time they lose a player or they have injuries that cause it in their starting rotation, you're like, okay, the Rays are going to wind up finishing in last place. And look where they are. A game and a half behind the Yankees. Their pitching has been great. They're going to get McClanahan back. Their bullpen has been outstanding.
And meanwhile here it'll be Sir Anthony Dominguez taking over on the mound for the Orioles. Their second reliever used today. Keenan Aiken got him out of a jam, stranding runners in the 6th, and here in the last of the 7th for the bottom of the order, it'll be the veteran right-hander Dominguez.
And the one thing the Orioles have in this bullpen, they have a lot of swing and miss. And Dominguez has some pretty good numbers, 38 strikeouts and 29 2/3. Good split, good fastball, upper 90s.
Well, I can't say enough about how good Dean Kramer was today. The Yankees came in here 13 homers in their last 4 games. At one point, Kramer had retired 10 of 12 before the leadoff walk in the 6th. And it'll be up to Dominguez to try to keep the Yankees quiet in the 7th. LeMahieu, Wells, and Peraza scheduled for New York. For Sir Anthony Dominguez, he got off to a really uneven start this year. Through his first 20 appearances, carried an ERA of 6. He has calmed it down, as has the entire Oriole bullpen. He's working on 11 straight scoreless outings. And his first offering to DJ LeMahieu's in for a strike.
And that's tough for a reliever. When you give up some runs early, you're always battling to try to get that ERA down. Now at a 3.64 for Dominguez.
LeMahieu grounds to second base. Jackson Holliday's got it, and there's one gone.
Jeff, that's a great point. You know, as a manager, you try to get your relief pitchers, especially your setup and closer guys, off to a good start, because if you walk a mile in their shoes, if they have 2 or 3 bad outings early in the year, it's like forever before they can get back on their feet. And they hate looking up at that board and seeing a 5 ERA.
I mean, you want to turn around and you want to see good numbers. I don't care who you are.
And the first pitch to Austin Wells is ripped into right center field. Wells aboard for the first time today. Tying run on base, and a pinch hitter now for New York. It'll be a Dominguez v. Dominguez matchup, as the switch hitter Jason Dominguez pinch hits in the number 9 spot.
You're going out there and you're talking to Sir Anthony and say, listen, you got to be careful first pitch fastball. Anybody coming off the bench, what are they looking for? Heat early. You know, throw a fastball, make sure it's down and away, make them beat you away.
A nice opportunity for Aaron Boone to go to a switch hitter who's been much better this year from the left side of the plate. Wells at first with one gone. Remember, the Yankees had second and third with nobody out in the 6th inning and failed to score. Here we go. First pitch to Dominguez. A ball and no strikes.
You're kind of going for it here because you're probably going to have to make a 2-player move with a 4-man bench. You know, you got a pinch hitter, and you're probably going to have somebody come in, maybe Volpe, and play shortstop.
And Dominguez sends a line shot at the center. Mullins started in, but is speedy enough to recover and get back there to make a tough catch. Well, that was a hold your breath moment for Orioles fans.
That's a good glove side break. Watch him break glove side. Sometimes these balls will come back when they're squared up. That's a really good read. Just open up and get the glove out there. You got a little more reach glove side.
So now Trent Grisham, who after a 3-for-5 afternoon yesterday has been quiet today, 0 for his first 3. Again, Grisham has homered twice in his last 3 games. And of note, among his 15 home runs this year, 11 of them have either tied the game or given the Yankees a lead. 2-0. Such an important plate appearance because that's what's waiting next. Aaron Judge.
Well, if you're Grisham here, don't you think you're going to get a fastball?
I would like your chances.
You know, Judge in the on-deck circle just walked back over to the bench, leaned over the railing, and wanted to tap into Jason Dominguez. What'd he throw you? What was it looking like? They were both looking out at Sir Anthony Dominguez on the mound. 3-0 and a 4-pitch walk. That'll give Judge a chance to bat with runners at first and second.
So you want to be a manager, huh? Let's make sure we walk him to get Judge to the plate in the situation. Once again, the anxiety. You don't think he knows who's on deck?
Yeah.
Boy, I can't walk Grisham here. He's got a little pop. At the same time, you don't want Judge to beat you.
Okay, so if you're managing here, Buck, and you technically have a base open, you're up by 1. You're late in the ball game. Third base, even though first and second, third base is open.
Oh, there's a base open.
You have Judge here who could beat you with one swing or tie the ball game in one swing.
I know what you'd do, Jeff. I would let you pitch to him because you aren't not going to throw him a pitch he can hurt you on. If he wants to go out of the strike zone, fine.
And that's probably what they're saying now. I say, listen, you may have the worst thing I think for a pitching coach to come out to tell a pitcher saying, hey, you know what, be careful, don't give him anything to hit. No. And then what happens?
You tell him one or two things. You go after him.
Yes. Or put him on.
Exactly. You don't put that in the pitcher's mind. That's how they make mistakes to good hitters.
Exactly.
They're trying to guide the ball up there. Next thing you know, they've worked under a breaking ball. That's what I was saying earlier. It's amazing how many mistakes are made to these great hitters because there's so much anxiety they create. Pitchers like when you're definitive with them.
Here we go with Wells and Grisham aboard and 2 gone. Here's Aaron Judge. He's walked and singled today. Ball and no strikes at 5 straight misses by Sir Anthony Dominguez.
I just don't think Dominguez is going to give him a fastball to hit. I mean, he really doesn't know where that fastball is going as he walked Grisham with 4 pitches.
Left-handed hitter Ben Rice waits next. 1-0. From a wrinkle to get a swing and a miss.
Splitter.
Yeah, split finger. He's got a good one. This would be a perfect time if you're going to throw the fastball to come in, but you don't come in anymore.
1-1. Oh, they set up in it. Got a strike in there on a 99-mile-an-hour sinker. That was nasty.
That's probably the only time that Judge has been thrown inside today, and that was an outstanding pitch. There's no way he's thinking fastball in.
He's got a lot of options to him now.
Judge behind 1-2. Fights off a fastball to see another pitch. That you're groaning. Is that too much of the strike zone for you?
I didn't like that pitch.
Yeah.
Jeff?
Maybe a little higher.
Yeah, especially
higher and in, maybe.
Especially after establishing the end like that. You got a lot of avenues open to you now.
The next 1-2.
But see, that's what really good hitters do. You just made a really good pitch, and he ticks it off, fouls it off. That's a big difference in the big leagues and the minor leagues. In minor leagues, that's strike 3, and everybody's going back to the dugout. Up here, the good hitters tick them off and make you do it again.
And this is when sometimes these pitchers make a mistake. You foul off a nasty split like that.
6th pitch of the at-bat. Spikes a pitch in the dirt to make it 2-2.
A real good block here from Sanchez.
What do you got, Jeff? You going back in there again, or are you staying off the plate?
If he has any guts, I'm coming back in.
Matty, what do you think?
Well, the 2 strikes in this plate appearance have come on the fastballs, on the 2 and 4 seamers. 2-2. Nope. More secondary stuff. That one bounces. Play at third. Throw there's not in time. Wells very alertly takes an extra base on that ball in the dirt. And you better make sure you're going to get to third with Aaron Judge at the plate.
Actually, pretty good move at first base. You know, it's a tough read. You want to make sure not run him off. But if he goes to second on this ball, what are they going to do with Judge? They're going to walk him. I like the idea of him staying put at first base. Good chance you're going to walk him anyway.
Yeah, I can't see him giving in here and throwing him a fastball. I think he goes back to that split.
1st and 3rd. Runners at the corners now after the wild pitch. 2 out in a 1-run game.
I might let that clock run out for ball 4 if I'm really thinking as a pitcher.
Got him swinging. Boy, that's a pitch that caught plenty of the strike zone. Maybe Judge was dialed up for a heater. A floating splitter gets Sir Anthony Dominguez out of trouble in the 7th.
And if you want a Cy Young, 73, 5, and 6, I've got an extra 5. And then it says, has worked as a TV commentator. You know, and I did start back in 1978. I did the Yankees and the Red Sox playing the 1-game playoff. And ABC said if the Yankees win, Reggie will play, and the Hugo broadcast with Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson, and that's how I started my broadcast. And that's the Bucky Dent home run. So every time I see Bucky Dent, I go, thank you for making me a broadcaster.
Hank Greenberg helped popularize the first baseman's mitt, holding a massive 13-inch pocketed glove. That was quickly banned, reducing the maximum size to 12 inches. Paul Richards also developed a black hole-sized catcher's mitt. This ginormous thing, measuring 42 inches in circumference, was known as Big Bertha, or the elephant, for its massive size. It was swiftly outlawed as well.
Talk about living dangerously. Split finger fastball strikes out Aaron Judge with the tying and go ahead runs at the plate in the bottom of the 7th, and we continue in a 1-run game. Anthony Volpe taking over at shortstop as we guessed, and Tim Hill will continue on the mound. He'll get 2 left-handed hitters to start the 8th, Henderson and O'Hearn, and then it'll be the right-handed bat of Ramon Laureano, for which we would expect a change. Fernando Cruz is hot and ready in the Yankee bullpen whenever needed. Hill entered in the 7th with a runner at second and 1 gone, retired Holiday and Urias. And now it's 2 balls and no strikes to Gunnar Henderson. You know, as bad as some of Baltimore's offensive numbers may appear at the surface, if you scratch a little bit, they've been a very good hitting team when they've got count leverage, as Henderson does here. 2-1. He's got even more on a 3-1 count. Baltimore's batting a major league best .384 in hitters counts, slugging a major league best .739 when ahead in a count. And there's ball 4. Let's go back to the pitch by pitch that got Dominguez out of the jam in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, slider away, then he comes back with a split. He gets a swing, and then he comes in. This is the best pitch right here. He came in with that fastball. That caught a little bit too much to the plate, and then he spits on that nasty split. Another great block there by Sanchez, and this is a hanger. But it was just enough off the fastball. The fastball at 99, that split was about 88, had him out in front.
You know, they talk about backup sliders being a tough pitch. You know, it's a pitch that
you wish you knew how to throw.
Yeah. Well, that was a split that didn't split. You know, Judge
just stayed up a little bit.
He's expecting that pitch to fall down, and he swung underneath it.
Ball and no strikes accounts to Ryan O'Hearn, who's got a couple of singles and an RBI today. Is it true, Nelly, that every backup slider is a mistake?
If you knew how to throw a backup slider, it would probably be the best pitch in baseball.
He couldn't believe that ball didn't fall down.
O'Hearn taking all the way, 2-1. Back-to-back innings where the Orioles have put the leadoff hitter aboard. They stranded the leadoff double in the 7th. And it's now 3 balls and a strike to Ryan O'Hearn.
You know, that's where Hill lives inside to lefties. From that first base side of the rubber, you come straight at that left-handed hitter. You watch how he goes right at the lefty.
Back-to-back walks open the Baltimore 8th.
That hurts because you really like your chances there against the 2 left-handed hitters and you get 2 walks. It's kind of set up pretty well for you the rest of the inning. You're expecting him to be tough on those 2 left-handers.
Here comes Aaron Boone, and here comes Fernando Cruz out of the Yankee bullpen to face Ramon Laureano with runners aboard and nobody out in the 8th.
I can't imagine transitioning from loving baseball cards to then knowing it's inevitably coming that you're going to be on baseball cards. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I think the first card I saw was when they did something for USA Baseball, and then now seeing my face, seeing me playing baseball on a card, it was surreal. It wasn't that it was that moment where we're like, wow, this is really something.
Well, we just watched a reliever, Sir Anthony Dominguez, a guy who features a good split-finger fastball. If you think you like that, you ain't seen nothing. Fernando Cruz has one of the best in the business, and it leads to a lot of punch-outs. Baltimore has Ramon Laureano bunting with first and second and nobody out. Sounds like standard good baseball practice until you learn that Ramon Laureano has all of 1 sack bunt in his nearly 10 years in Major League Baseball.
After seeing that, I can understand why.
0-1 the count to Laureano. A ball and a strike.
He gets a first pitch split, and all of a sudden he's stabbing at the ball, trying to sacrifice, and you're trying to bunt it down third.
Colton Cowser waiting next. I mean, this is the quandary, Buck, right? You're a manager. You know what the right play call is, but you've got personnel that isn't quite necessarily suited to that.
Well, it starts, was he asked to do it in the minor leagues? You said he had 1, but how many did he attempt? He may have attempted 30. But in what changed from the first pitch to the second pitch? What made you take it off? Maybe he did it on his own. I doubt it. But, it's not their fault. You have to demand it of them in your minor leagues if you want to have that be part of your game up here. That's up to you.
Oh, man, is that a good pitch? Didn't get the call. That is exactly where Fernando Cruz and Austin Wells wanted that ball.
Now, this is a good split finger on the outside corner. That's a strike.
Wow.
Instead, it goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Laureano. Again, left-handed hitters to follow. Cowser and Mullins, nobody out with 2 on. It's good enough to throw on 1 and 2. You throw it on 2 and 2.
No, he's going to continue to throw it. His fastball is about low 90s, 92 to 94, but that split is nasty. Had 109 strikeouts last year in 66 2/3. This year, pretty much on that mark.
Let's see if he triples up on it here as we expect. A pitch that he generates a 61% whiff rate on. Long hold with 2 on. The next 2-2. Got the swing and miss on that. Another great split.
Now there you see the tumbling action. He's a guy that holds it two different ways. It depends on which way he wants that to break.
Kind of froze the hitter there holding the ball because he's looking back at the runner at second. He knows the clock. You can see it. You know, he threw it at about 2 seconds. That's why I tell these guys, if you get up on the rubber quicker, then you dictate the timing. You're not forced to throw earlier than you want to. If you get up there early, then you can hold the ball on Nelly like you used to do.
Right.
So now Colton Cowser. Cowser 1 for 3. He doubled in the first run of the game back in the first. Oh boy, they had him dancing very close at second base. Henderson just got back. Gunnar was bouncing around out there, and the Yankees read it right.
Well, Matty, that was a great play. You see Cruz just a little late and not a great spin move. If he spins quicker, because Volpe was there and it was a better throw, you wind up getting him.
He's trying to run here. He's pretty slow to the plate. They're trying to run here, even with a left-handed hitter.
Henderson has 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts. Another big lead off of second base. Again, there's only 2 disengagements for the most part that pitchers are willing to make these days. Oh, you saw that glove flap.
Yeah, sometimes they'll put it down. There's a little glove flap, and that's the signal. As soon as Cruz picks up that glove, he'll spin and turn. It just wasn't quick enough.
Ball and a strike.
You know, you as a runner at first base, you can, you know, if these guys sometime at second, they'll start and stop. You got to make sure he goes. He's checking him out. A lot of guys will run guys off of there. So you as a runner at first, you know, sometimes the guy at second will start and all of a sudden he doesn't have a good break and he'll stop and guys got their head down at first base. It's important that you have your head on a swivel and you trust the first base coach about the first baseman coming in behind you. But he should be able to get enough lead there to put some pressure on the double play ball.
Back-to-back splits. A third straight, gets another strikeout. What a weapon that split is for Cruz.
Jeff, why didn't you throw a split more? Did you have trouble?
I tried.
I know.
It was like my show me pitch in warm-ups.
People think that's an easy pitch to grasp. It's not.
No. Well, you see these guys now, everybody goes to the split that throws it. They'll go and hold it outside of that glove, and then they'll change when they're in the glove. They don't want too much movement now in their glove as far as tipping that pitch.
Cedric Mullins tries his chances with one, a swing and a miss.
You'll see him grab that grip. And that's where his first finger is. It's alongside a seam, so that breaks down and away from a left-handed hitter.
Another one. And a foul ball, 0-2.
Why is that foul? That's interesting. Did it hit Mullins?
We'll take a look at it again. Yes, it did.
Are you sure? Okay, now I got it. No, I don't know about that one.
Okay. That hit the corner of the plate.
Last 5 pitches have been split finger fastballs from Fernando Cruz. And a 6th straight means he strikes out all 3 he's called on to face. Back-to-back walks open the inning. Fernando Cruz puts out the fire.
So these is MLB Network talent stars.
Okay.
The stars of MLB Network. Can I trade a pack of these for a signed Lawrence Shahadi card?
How about we do a little bit of both?
Money, a little trade.
Will you open it up and see if you like it?
They're really nice.
If I sign it, does that equal the Lauren Shahadi 20?
All right.
Do we have a good trade?
We have a good trade. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Nice doing business with you.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. We welcome you back to the Bronx. In a one-run game, Fernando Cruz now owns the best strikeout percentage among any major league reliever after striking out the side to get the Yankees out of a jam in the 8th. To the bottom of the inning now, and another bullpen piece on display. Right-hander Brian Baker has been very good for Baltimore. He's gotten a couple of save opportunities this year, and he is a good example of a reverse splits guy. Tough on left-handed batters, Nelly, because he throws an outstanding changeup.
Yeah, he's got a really good change, good slider. The fastball you see there, 97 and 99. A lot of swing and miss, 42 strikeouts in those 33 innings.
I would imagine that Ben Rice will see a steady diet of changes. There's an elevated Peter against a swing and miss on. The double barrel working in the Yankee bullpen, Mark Leiter Jr. and Devin Williams.
And people say why? Well, one is if you get the lead this inning, or maybe even a tie. Another one if you stay at 2-1. You got to trust your bullpen coach and the players there. Like, one of them knows they're going in the game, and as the inning evolves, one of them's going to pick up the pace a little bit.
Cody Bellinger to follow, then Giancarlo Stanton. And now it's a full count. Ben Rice has hit for the cycle over the past 2 games, homering and tripling yesterday. Single and a double this afternoon. Baker, the third Baltimore reliever used today. Full count pitch. Still 3-2 to Rice. The next full count pitch, and Rice lines it back up the middle. His third hit of the afternoon, and the tying runs aboard to start the home 8th.
That's a good piece of hitting right there, Buck. That's fastball up at 97 and on the outer half. And
That's
he just
impressive.
takes it right back up the middle.
That's impressive to get the barrel on top of that one. Most guys swing and miss that high fastball there.
One of the best fastball hitters on the roster. I'm kind of surprised he had a couple of fastballs to swing at there. And now it's Cody Bellinger. Bellinger 0 for 3 so far today. A ball and a strike.
You talk about improvements in the game. Jeff, putting these nets up, Matt, down the line, that ball right there has got somebody.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder why we didn't have these up before.
Especially because 85% of the fans who go to any major league ballpark spend 100% of the time on their phones.
I know, Jeff, you've seen some pretty ugly collisions with people's bodies in baseball.
And that's before phones.
Yeah.
Bellinger will use his timeout. Again, Stanton waiting next, and Big G will be happy to see anybody other than Dean Kramer on the mound in his next plate appearance. 3 strikeouts against the Baltimore starter, who was very good today. 1-1. Bellinger with a broken bat. That one's hooking foul. That's split right down the middle.
You know what that is? That's a fungo. Coaches are fighting over that bat right now. The barrel split in half. I don't think I've seen that before. Wow.
The torpedo bat, no longer a torpedo.
That's like a Scud missile now.
Now, years ago, when people would cork bats, everybody would go, let me see that bat, let me see that bat, let me see that bat. When it splits up there, everybody used to think, wow, he's got it. And he would have been running back to the dugout with it. But he's not corking his bat.
Still a ball and 2 strikes to Cody Bellinger. You know, we were talking to Aaron Boone about Bellinger before the game and about his tremendous balance. And it's Aaron's take that, you know, balance being important to every hitter at every level. It's really important to Cody Bellinger. But even on a swing where he doesn't have it, his bat-to-ball skills are so elite that he can foul off 2-strike pitches all day until he finds his balance again.
He's someone, when he struggles at the plate, he has a big loopy swing. You can really beat him upstairs because he gets underneath a lot of fastballs about letter high, belt high. This at batter lately, and you've seen a little bit more level swing. That back shoulder still drops, but still he's still getting on top of that baseball.
He is really hanging around here. A series of foul balls. It's 5 straight. Does not have a swinging miss yet in this plate appearance. If you're Baker, and Jeff, I'm sure you've been in this situation. You get into a long at bat where it's just a series of foul balls. You start thinking to yourself, what do I have for this guy?
Well, you like to try to throw something away. Most everything has been in the inner half. Maybe that change up down.
You know, I try to think of it, you know, you see a guy foul a ball straight back and everybody goes, ooh, wow, he's right on it. No, he's not. He's on the velocity of the pitch, but he's not on the location. He's just missed the ball by the width of the ball. So, you know, when you foul a ball off, you're barely touching the ball. I think sometimes pitchers get into a rut with that.
And on the 8th pitch of the plate appearance, a bouncing ball for O'Hearn. Rice to second, tying run in scoring position with 1 gone.
Productive out. Productive out. He hit it so hard that you could have gotten up and maybe taken a chance throwing a second there. He thought about it.
Yeah, that's one of those plays that you could really get back, hustle back, tag the bag, and make a throw down the second. Especially from a left-handed first baseman.
Well, the Yankees are just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position this afternoon. Another chance here for Stanton, who stranded a pair in his last at-bat. Neither team has really been groundbreaking in terms of runners in scoring position success. Combined, the Yankees and Orioles just 3 for 17 today. Breaking balls in for a strike to Stanton. Jazz Chisholm next, 1 out, tying run in scoring position. Stanton sends a rocket out to left. They will hold Rice at third, and wisely so.
I think the Orioles got away with one right there. They've been staying away from Stanton all day, and they decide to come in. And he pulls off the ball anyway, and that's a pitch that he could really handle. Lucky it's only a base hit. That could have been in the seats.
I was wondering who they're going to use to pinch run there. Now they're down to one guy on the bench and the backup catcher, and it's Goldschmidt is a good choice.
It is Paul Goldschmidt running for Stanton. Rice at third is the tying run. Only one away. And the Orioles are discussing how to get a ground ball off Jazz Chisholm's bat.
Well, also about what they want to do with Goldschmidt. 5 stolen bases on the year. Hasn't been caught. He's a very smart base runner over there. You see a lot of clubs now with first and third situations with one out. They don't throw through. They'll give that stolen base up. It all depends on what the Orioles want to do here and how big a jump I guess Goldschmidt gets.
Well, my question is, do you play double play depth here or not? You've got a plus runner at the plate. You know, if you play double play depth, you're probably giving the run up with a ground ball in the middle of the infield unless it's right at the shortstop or pitcher. Here's another example of depth. You know, are you trying to win the game or keep them losing? There's two ways to look at it. There's not a right or wrong. Now the shortstop come up. Second base is the only place they're playing really double play depth. First baseman's going to the plate. Third baseman's going to go to the plate probably.
Chisholm doubled and scored the Yankees' lone run back in the second. First pitch from Baker misses off the plate. Changeup being a big weapon for Baker against left-handed batters. And you might be curious, Jazz Chisholm against a right-handed changeup this year. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. He's got count leverage, does Jazz. 2 balls and no strikes. Takes ball 3. DJ LeMahieu licking his chops, waiting next. Green light here?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Three balls and no strikes. Tying run at third. Chisholm sends the ball out to right center. That one's off the wall. Rice scores easily. They're going to try it with Goldschmidt. The throw to the plate is not in time.
Wow.
Well, there you go. He gets a fastball, gets behind 3-0. Buck, you're right. He had the green light.
You got to be able to trust the guy, too. It's a great sin. Great sin. Throws just a little bit up the first base line, which is a difference. The pinch run for Stanton pays off dividends. Yep. Great call. All the way around. That's a good baseball play. Good 3-0 turn him loose. Good relay for the most part, except the throw being a little offline to the plate. Good send at third base and a good pinch run at first. That's fun.
A series of terrific replays here. Ball comes off the top pad, slowed it down a little bit. And what a great look at that play at the plate. The Yankees have their first lead of the game. It's a 2-run double credited to Jazz. He takes third on the throw, and now let's see what LeMahieu does. Infield in for Baltimore. Yankees are looking for what would be just their second win when trailing after 7.
This throw's on the plate. He's out. Good release. That's good. Just a little bit up the line. That's the difference in the play.
LeMahieu spun around as he gets out of the way of a fastball.
Well, like we said, Jeff, one guy set down, and now they only got one guy throwing because they're ahead in the bullpen.
Yeah, it looks like Williams will get the 9th.
A ball and a strike to LeMahieu, who drove in the first run of the game for New York. Chopper. Here comes Jazz. Play at the plate is dropped. Chisholm safe.
Yeah, he called him out. I think he called him out, didn't he?
He did call him out.
He called him out. You're right about that. Ball came out. I'm not sure if Jansen Visconti saw that, and now the safe call is mentioned at the plate. 4-2 New York.
I tell you, Jazz Chisholm has had quite a lot of traffic at home plate today, hasn't he?
Well, it's the right play, and it's a good throw.
Yeah, that ball comes out, and I don't think the home plate umpire saw it. The tag was never applied, right?
They might have got him for blocking the plate anyway.
I was going to say, Buck, I mean, you wonder, he didn't have the ball.
Sanchez did not have the ball at the time the glove was applied to the back of Jazz. Now, they're talking about it on the field. I don't see a way where this run comes off the board.
No.
Well, see, he doesn't even have the ball. He's blocking the plate.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think he would have been safe either way.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're talking about. He dropped the ball. He went back and he tagged the base. He's safe.
There's nothing to talk about.
This should be pretty quick. Unless they're thinking about where to place the runner at first base. Should he get second? Because the ball was loose. I'm reaching.
That's, no, you make a good point.
They're going to ask maybe about where to place the runners. I would not be happy if they placed him at second. That's the only thing I can come up with. They were talking about whether or not the runner should get second.
LeMahieu gets credit for an RBI on the fielder's choice play. The Yankees have their biggest lead of the ball game. It's a 3-run eighth now, 4-2 New York. And here's Austin Wells.
Think about Jazz Chisholm's plays at the plate today. He's been beat up pretty good.
Great point. You go a whole month without being involved in a play at the plate. Jazz has had 2 bang-bang contact plays at the plate. And by the way, we have an official scoring change on the LeMahieu ball, not being credited with an RBI. It's a fielder's choice error charged to Sanchez.
You know why? Because he called him out. If he had never made a signal and called him safe from the get-go, it's been an RBI. But because he made the out signal, it forced him to give him an error.
Wells sends a slicing drive into the left field corner. Cowser is over there to make a good catch for out number 2.
Now the Orioles are going to go back and look at this game and just some mistakes from the outfield, some throws that should have been made, and some plays at the plate that should have been made.
Well, we go back to that first inning when he had a runner picked off at second base that would have scored. We talked about 90-foot. Think about all the 90-foot giveaways have happened today.
Anthony Volpe's first plate appearance of the afternoon. A lot of folks thought he'd be in the starting lineup today after a 3-for-3, including a homer yesterday afternoon. But as that came on the heels of an 0-for-25 stretch, Aaron Boone told us before the game, I want to let the 3 hits kind of settle in with him.
You know, it's
give
funny.
another day.
Everybody's going to give grief about load management after a great day, and I'm as bad as anybody. But maybe he got those 3 hits because he knew he had the day off. Maybe he took a deep breath and said, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, and I don't begin to think I know what's going on in their clubhouse.
2 balls and a strike to Volpe. Jazz Chisholm saying, man, I'm only off the IL for a couple of weeks, and you got me in this collision duty at home plate all day.
Let me tell you, when Jazz gets into bed in Cincinnati tonight, he'll put his head on the pillow in a hurry.
3 balls and a strike to Volpe. When Baltimore bats in their half of the 9th, trailing, they'll have Carlson, Sanchez, and Holiday.
Big hit by Stanton in this inning too. He hit it too hard to score him on.
And Volpe reaches on the base on balls.
I tell you, that's a lot of pitches in one inning work, isn't it, Nelly?
33, 34 pitches.
Yeah, Tony Manzolino's not going to wait around any longer. He's going to go to the bullpen. Pitching change for the Orioles. The Yankees have a 2-run lead, and we'll be right back.
Getting traded to Boston from Chicago. You see here the traditional jersey. I love a road jersey because it says where you're from, and this is simple, clean, and cool. And then you see this patch right here. This is from the 2013 postseason run, which was unlike anything I had ever been a part of, to punch through and hoist that trophy. Boston strong forever, baby.
Well, the Orioles have to go deeper into their bullpen than they would have imagined at the start of the inning, and from it they call on the former All-Star left-hander Gregory Soto to make his 33rd appearance of the season.
There's some good ERAs coming out of that Oriole bullpen. Soto, sinker slider guy with 90s, that fastball.
Trent Grisham with an add-on opportunity. Runners at first and second. 3 runs in with 2 away. Through the first 7 innings of this game today, the Yankees had a grand total of 1 hit with runners in scoring position. They are 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position here in the 8th inning alone. Nothing and 1 to Grisham, who is 0 for 3 with a walk today.
Matt, do you ever have a mustache?
Every morning when I wake up, I'm Armenian.
Come on, I can hear your beard growing.
Comes in quick.
How about you, Jeff?
I did. You just didn't notice.
Yeah. I had one back in the Cape Cod League.
Are you getting to the relaxation of the facial hair policy here in the Bronx?
No, man, I wouldn't go there. That's up to you. I would never.
Okay.
Well, I wonder if, I don't know. What do you think of it?
I mean, the mustachioed Yankee never existed, with the exception of Don Mattingly prior to this year.
Oh, we had some mustaches.
The bearded Yankee, I guess.
I tell you, when I got them to relax the goatee rule in Baltimore, you'd think I'd brought the Holy Grail in the locker room. It meant that much to them.
0-2 the count to Trent Grisham. It's the guy that pushed that through Devin Williams, who's up in the bullpen for the Yankees, as Grisham is caught looking at a called strike 3. Overall, however, a very productive inning for the Yankees. They sent 8 hitters to the plate. They get on the board 3 times, and they take a 2-run lead to the 9th.
All right, you lose your DH and let Goldschmidt play first this inning?
St. Louis Cardinals, one of the cleanest jerseys in the game. I've always felt that way. And, the birds on the bat, just an iconic logo. I mean, look how rich that yellowish gold is in the bat. All the stitching with the birds. I've just always thought it's one of the best looks in the game. 35 is the number I wore in my Major League debut. I actually think this might be the jersey from my Major League debut. So that was 2010, May 29th.
Heading into this series finale, the Yankees had all of one comeback win in a game that they took a deficit into the 8th inning. 3 in the 8th inning this afternoon sets them up for their second such victory if Devin Williams can finish business. Last appeared on Thursday. Finished the game that snapped the Yankees' 6-game losing streak by striking out the side against the Angels and salvaging the series with Los Angeles. Here in the 9th inning, he'll get Dylan Carlson, Gary Sanchez, and Jackson Holliday, and a big swing and a miss by Carlson.
Well, he's turned things around. And out of that bullpen, Williams has 3 earned runs in his last 15 2/3. A really good changeup. What they call it, an airbender.
The airbender. I think he hung that nickname on that pitch himself, and he's got Carlson behind 0-2. Yeah, it's been a lot better as opposed to the way it started for Devin in the Bronx. His first 10 games in Yankee pinstripes had some folks worried. An ERA north of 11, an opposing batting average of .350. But since the end of April, it's back to the kind of stuff that Brewers fans watched the last 5 years. Ball and 2 strikes.
Well, on occasion he can get wild with the fastball, and that changeup that he has, he usually doesn't throw that for a strike. That's the swing and miss pitch.
Two balls and 2 strikes. The count to Carlson, who has 2 hits today.
Surprised he threw 2 fastballs there.
Yeah, you get ahead, and he has such a good changeup.
And it's a changeup that gets the fly ball out to left for Bellinger. But for the first 7 innings of this game, it looked like the Orioles' 2-run first may actually have been enough. But the Yankees get on the board with 3 in the bottom of the 8th, and now it's Baltimore down to their final 2 outs today. Here's Sanchez, who has struck out twice since entering for the injured Maverick Handley.
And it's tough. They obviously can't pinch hit for him. They couldn't if they wanted to. Another problem with the catcher leaving the game so early.
We've already mentioned the Yankees are off to Cincinnati after this series finale. 3 with the Reds at Great American Park. Baltimore heads back home for a series with the Texas Rangers. No Monday day off for either side. Ball and a strike to Gary Sanchez. Snuck a fastball past him.
The 2 changeups will do that. Your speed, you're in a certain changeup speed. Fastball plays a lot more.
Got him.
It's nasty when it's down in the zone. Look at this sink. Starts around thigh high, ends at your knees. You see, it's almost like a screwball how he turns that circle change over.
AL East rivals that won't meet again until the end of the regular season schedule. And Jackson Holliday representing the last shot for Baltimore today, taking strike one. Holliday had 3 hits Friday. He was quiet, as were the rest of his teammates yesterday. 1 for 4 today. A base hit to right keeps the 9th inning alive for the visitors.
Holliday got a fastball after a changeup inside that he took. Williams comes back with a heater upstairs and pays for it. Base hit.
So now Ramon Urias. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the first, hitless in his next 3 at-bats.
Probably going to play behind the runner here at first base. That runner doesn't mean anything. That's how the game's changed a little bit. You got to. Most people play the line here with your third baseman. I don't know. It depends a lot about your bullpen. It also depends on you're at home. You know, you're okay playing in a tie game at home. I kind of like where they are. They're leading that way, but not standing on it.
Holliday runs. No attempt to keep him close or throw down. Fielder's indifference will be scored there. No stolen base credited to Jackson. Urias has faced Williams 3 times in his career. A ground out, a walk, and a strikeout. 1-1. Bouncing ball to third that should do it appropriately. It's Chisholm, who is one of the Yankees' big stars today. And the Yanks take the series with a real snatch-em-back victory on this Sunday in June.
Yeah, great pitching matchup on both sides. Both Kramer and Warren did an outstanding job, and it was just the Yankees. Both teams had plenty of opportunities to score some runs. Those tack-on runs the Orioles just could not get late in the ball game. And the Yankees come through with a comeback win in the 8th inning. 3 big runs, and how about Jazz Chisholm, 2 for 4, couple doubles, 2 big RBIs in that 8th, and then Williams locks it down for his 10th save.
That's a good. Anytime you got multiple guys capable of pitching that last inning, it's almost like having depth in your infield. Devin Williams has kind of found his step now.